Alright. Let's go, guys. Had to turn off the idiot box. All right, y'all. All right. Salute, love and light. Let's get a roll call before we even begin the activities for tonight. Can I get a roll call? Let me know who's in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go. North Carolina, NC in the building. Colorado Springs in the building. GA, Georgia, SC in the building. Sacktown. You already know. God is in the building with us tonight. Cleveland, 216. Denver, Naptown, Cincinnati, the Natty in the building. Miami in the building. The BX. Chicago, Colorado, Shreveport. Shout out to A-Bay. Dallas, Texas, Long Beach, Detroit. So cold in the D. Yeah, Harlem is in the building. Alabama's in the building. Okay. Now Justice in the building. Sacktown is in the building. Peace to Sacktown. Peace to the family. Houston, Texas. Peace to Houston. Arkansas is in the building. Arizona's in the building. AZ is in the building. Fulton is in the building. Do you know it's Saturday, right? Yeah. Waco's in the building. Yeah, I didn't know it's Saturday. I'm so fucking galactic that I don't know what day it is. Yeah, today is Saturn's Day. That's the name of the episode. Saturn's Day. Third Eye Saturn's Day. Orlando, Florida. Dade County. Brooklyn in the building. Ohio in the building. Word. Columbus, South Carolina in the building. LA in the building. DC, Maryland, DMV is in the building. Virginia, Tennessee in the building. All right. How is everybody doing tonight? First and foremost, I just want to say that we have been off of the radar in the past few days. Third Eye Thursdays, I wasn't able to go live with the family. I was out of town taking care of some business, and I wasn't able to get on the live. Friday, I attempted, OKC in the building. Flint, Michigan in the building. Friday, I attempted to go live with the family. Shout out to Casey Cooper, Compass Circle. And I was not able to go live due to some Wi-Fi issues. Hey, Leticia. Shout out to Denver in the building. Macon. Oh, shit. Macon. BK, Bed-Stuy, Do or Die, NA Rock. You already know what it is. Salute to the family on Macon. Salute to Monet. Salute to Lauren. I think they got a baby shower going on over there today. Salute to the family over there. Lafayette, LA, Gainesville, New Haven, Connecticut. Any call-in numbers? I don't have the call-in thing set up. You know, we're going to try to work on that. Seattle is in the building. Millville, New Jersey is in the building. Yes, Macon. You already know. My Macon, rest in peace, disco. That's where, you know, when I came to Bed-Stuy, that's where they accepted me on Macon. I was welcomed with open arms in the 90s. So, I fucks with Macon the long way. I fucks with Halsey Street in Bed-Stuy, Nostrand Ave, everybody who, you know, just opened up the way for me and my brother over there. Atlanta, GA, Stargazer in the building. I see you. I feels you. You feel me? I feel ya. I see you. I see ya. So, like I was saying, oh yeah, the The Kings County drip. Let's get this. This is embroidery, family. Let's get the embroidery. We got the pants to go with it. That's that embroidery. You know what I'm talking about? We just gotta let y'all know, keep you updated when we, you know what I mean, we out here working. So there's people that are rooting for us. I know that the universe is conspiring for our success, but we do have people that are out there who are also conspiring for our success and are very instrumental in that success, namely the Kings County supporters. You are definitely, the foundation to why I'm sitting here today, to this day. You know what I mean? The people who have been supporting us for more than 10 years, you know what I'm saying? I can never stunt, I can never style, I can never act like you guys, my supporters, the one who have been there for me, are not responsible for me. You feel me? And I'm dead serious. So I give love and light to everybody who has ever purchased a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a hoodie, a jacket, a necklace, some wristwear. Look at the infinity stones. Talk black to me. Look at the infinity stones. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody who's ever supported the drip, I am honored. I appreciate you, and I'm forever, committed to you. But, fair exchange. You know what I'm saying? You got yourself some drip in exchange, and I appreciate you. You didn't have to do that. So thank you. And I promise to improve upon all aspects of manufacturing, production, everything, design, everything. So it will level up. I'm talking about on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. That's my job. That's what I'm working to do. That's my contribution. Like if you could see what Nipsey did by leveling up from the table, selling socks on Crenshaw, I see myself in a lot of that brother's movement. I started on a table on 125th Street, and now I'm on the way to China. I'm going to China. So, if you stay 10 toes down and you stay real with yourself and you stay committed to your purpose and your cause, then things will begin to change for you. You have to be committed though. Like, you have to have dedication. Like Nipsey taught y'all. Dedication, hard work, perseverance. You know what I mean? You have to be able to persevere. It's not easy. It is not easy. You feel me? It is not. Don't ever let nobody tell you that this thing is going to be easy, because it's not going to be that easy. But let me share something with you. We've paved the way. We've cut down the big, trees that are in the way. And I'm not talking about me personally. I'm talking about man like Derek Grace. You know what I'm talking about? Man like Pharaonic for the Pharaonic brand. Man like Red and Blue Pill. You know what I'm talking about? Man like A.A. Rashid with his work ethics and what he brings to the table with his merch and whatnot. Man like Black Dot and them, what they doing with their t-shirt line. Man like, who are some other people? Athletics. My brothers from Athletics. I might forget about certain brands and whatnot, but at the end of the day, I'm in competition with nobody. Man like 19 Keys. Shout out to 19 Keys. It's his born day today. My brother, my shifter brother, 19 Keys. Salute to 19 Keys with those crowns and whatnot and the work that he's been doing. He's having a beautiful, beautiful solar return because he put in magnanimous work for his 365 days cycle around the sun. He did some monumental things. So I'm saluting my brother, saying to him happy born day and many, many more to come. But we've paved a lot of the way. Me and the 100 other brands that are out there. We knocked down a lot of trees, and we kicked down a lot of doors, and we knocked down a lot of buildings, and we opened up a lot of the way for brothers and sisters to come along and to make some things happen with what it is that they're trying to do. regardless of if you're trying to sell jewelry, regardless if you're trying to sell clothing, regardless if you're trying to sell sacred stones or whatever you're trying to do. You know, I meet hundreds of people on my journeys. They come up to me at lectures and whatnot, and they talk about how they're inspired, how they were divinely inspired, and things of that nature. You feel me? And it touches my heart because at the end of the day, like I said, this whole journey, if I was a competitor, you would see me competing with these niggas that are running around. You know, they're not even to be honest with you, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but there's nothing to compete with. There's nobody to. What is the competitive nature? What's the standard of your competitiveness? You know what I'm saying? What am I gonna compete with a nigga? How many books I read? You want me to take you to the library right now? You know, I got the library right there. What do you want to compete about? The books? What would you want to compete about? You know what I mean? How big each other's feet are? Like, what's there to compete about? When what I do is I don't compete. You know what I'm saying? I inspire, and I let people know that they inspire me, and I inspire others, and I lift my brothers and sisters up. I don't have to compete with anybody. I'm competing against my lower self. I'm not competing against nobody else. I'm competing against that motherfucker who resides inside of me, who will sabotage and drive me off the cliff if I let him. You understand? That's the only person that I gotta worry about. Is this nigga, this living inside of me. You know how Bruce Banner was dealing with the Hulk when he was living inside of him? He had to put a cap on the Hulk. He had to put a leash on the Hulk. Yeah, I got the motherfucking Incredible Hulk inside of Bill Bixby's body, and that's the only person that I gotta deal with. You know what I mean? Everybody else is a reflection of the internal war that I constantly am going through inside of me. You know what I mean? If we are quantum, like I said, because if we, shout out to King Simon, the legend, if we agree that we exist in what is known as a holographic universe, based off of what scientists, based off of what our master teachers, even based off of what some of our quote-unquote ancestors taught us, that this world that we live in, all is mental. So everything is dealing with the mind. So we exist in what is known as a quantum universe. Quantum universe, right? Bill Bixby is not on streaming platforms yet. We're getting it mixed down. So we will be loading Bill Bixby on the streaming platforms as early as this week. But with the quantum universe, what it's basically saying, oh, I got Jacobs versus Canelo. I don't bet against melanin. I don't bet against melanin. So what was happening is, in the quantum universe, or in the quantum realms where all is mental, we realize that we can change whatever it is that we've identified that's afflicting us with our minds. First and foremost, you have to change your mind. You have to change your consciousness. Then you have to change your subconsciousness. It's not cool enough in 2019 to only program your consciousness. You're supposed to be programming your subconsciousness. You understand? You should be programming your subconsciousness like they showed you in the movie Inception. You're supposed to be reprogramming the shit that the Catholic Church, your kindergarten teacher, PBS, BET in its earlier days, BET Uncut, VH1, Viacom, Fox 5, you know what I mean? All of these programmers, you're supposed to be reprogramming what they programmed into your subconsciousness when you were impressionable as a youth, or when you were so open to anything that the TV was feeding you, anything that Hollywood was feeding you, anything that your Europeanized or Aryan neighbors or teachers or professors, whatever, or the Bill Gates, not Bill Gates, what's the black brother's name who sells out what's that name? What's his name? What's my dude? Henry Gates, or whatever Henry Gates was selling you. Like, Derek Grace has taught us. Unlearn and relearn. Thank you, Ian Hatter. Okay? Wait a minute. Where's Empress B444? We got to get Empress B444 in the building, or we need a moderator with a wrench. There's no trolls in here. We just want to be able... She does an excellent job of posting information, posting links, posting cash apps, posting websites. So if there's anybody in the building tonight that want that, not just want the wrench, could take the wrench and do something with it, talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody said, give me a wrench. Okay, I'll give you a wrench. Let me see how to do the whole wrench thing. That's not it. Okay. Live chat. Oh, here we go. Monica Welch. I appreciate you. I appreciate, love you. Thank you for that cash app. You that was definitely appreciated. Thank you. Good looking. Okay. Blue Pill is in the building. Blue Pill is in the building. Salute to Blue Pill. Okay. So let me just get some certain things handled real quick, and then we'll get right back to the information. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm a little distracted. But we in the building, okay? I'm just trying to figure something out. Blue said, where's Empress at? I might need you with the wrench, Blue Pill. We might need you to wrench this thing out tonight. How about it? Oh, she's traveling. Okay, it's all good. Guess what? We lit. It don't even matter. We're lit tonight. We're gonna... Oh, Casey got it. Let me give you the wrench. There you go, Casey. You got the wrench. Sci-Fi's in the building. If Sci-Fi, if you want the wrench, you got it too, sister. You already know what it is. If you want the wrench, Sci-Fi, you got it. You just saw KT. KT just had a lecture in Dallas. All right. Shout out to Knowledge Born Allah. KT just had a lecture, and I'm sure that he blew it out of the water, because my brother is a genius. My younger brother is a bona fide certified genius. Okay. And I know that he studies beyond levels that most people are used to. He goes in. I'm talking about he'll break shit down to the DNA molecule level. And I'm looking forward to his Avengers Endgame breakdown. You feel me? So let's rewind the tape a little bit. Let's rewind the tape going back to what I was just talking about, because it's a lot of energy in the air right now. We got a new moon in Taurus. We got Saturn in retrograde. We got Pluto in retrograde. We're going to talk about what that means tonight. Okay? We're going to talk about what that means tonight. It's a lot of energy going around. So I have to be on point that I don't jump all over the place, because sometimes I just start channeling energy and I go all over the place. Okay? We're going to talk about the situation with Minister Farrakhan and Facebook. Okay? We're going to talk about the censorship that's underway, that's being aimed at brothers and sisters who are known as truth seekers and the quote-unquote alternative media. Now, for anybody who wants to go ahead and do their due diligence, you can find a series of videos that I did on YouTube under the title of the YouTube Adpocalypse. The YouTube Adpocalypse. Now, Adpocalypse is a play on words. Yes, Taurus and Uranus. Okay, Taurus and Uranus. Pause. And we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about that. Yes, you're a Capricorn and Saturn got you going through some ill shit. Saturn is big karma. Saturn is heavy-handed. Okay? Saturn is in retrograde. It's a lot of shit that's about to go down during the retrograde. I want to give you some of the keys. I want to give you some of the quote unquote, I'm just giving you the basic shit. You're going to have to go to Ra Aku, Aquarius Maximus, Everest, and a few other brothers and sisters who are known for their planetary cosmophysics and whatnot. But we're gonna talk about that tonight. We're gonna unpack some of that tonight, because one of the things about what we do over here on Know the Ledge is we give you the knowledge so you know the ledge, so your ass don't slip and fall off of the edge and fall on your face. Shout out to Kevin Ruffin with that Cash App. You know what I'm talking about? With that very large Cash App, might I add. I appreciate you, my good brother. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I appreciate you. Taurus is about that money. Taurus is about that bread. Taurus is about, family and whatnot. So, there's going to be an aspect in this new moon, this new moon in Taurus, that we're going to be able to tap into, because Saturn is about expansion. You understand? And if anybody has been paying attention to the energy that's been present on this planet since April 24th, there's been a lot of energy dealing with expansion. One of the Scorpios, a Pluto energy, goes by the name of Aubrey Graham. You know him as Drake. He took home 27 Billboard Awards and broke a record. That's Saturn. That's Pluto. You understand? That's that expansion. Drake? Yeah, that nigga Drake? Yeah, he's showing you how that energy is manifesting. Hey, here's another one. John Singleton, the GOAT. He's a goddamn Capricorn. And what happened in Pluto retrograde? The doors open up. Pluto is death. Pluto is the underworld. Pluto is death. So the Capricorn, when Pluto went into retrograde inside of Capricorn, they took a Capricorn with them. That's how that shit works. So pay attention to what's going on. Okay? Yeah, John Singleton is 51. India, I appreciate you for that new moon. I appreciate love you. This new moon in Taurus, this new moon dealing with money. We're gonna do a new moon ritual tonight. All of us in the building in real time on a Saturn day. We're gonna tap into some kind of ritualistic energy and whatnot, so we could get this thing right. Okay? So we could get this thing right. All right? I would love for Saturn is definitely restriction, but keep in mind Saturn is in retro. Okay? Saturn is in retro. Exactly. Jupiter is expansion and Saturn is contraction, right? But Saturn is in retro. Okay? So we're dealing with abundance. You know what I mean? We're dealing with abundance. We're dealing with things beginning to open up. We're dealing with a lot of people who've been putting in work. Your time is now. You will be rewarded for the work that you've been putting in. Your time is now. Case in point, what you saw with Aubrey Graham at the Billboard Awards with those 27 awards. The work that he's been putting in, the work that man has been putting in paid off, and it showed at the Billboard Awards. So he broke a new record. He gets to put that shit on his Instagram and get 1 million likes. He once again stamps his name in hip hop as being the one on top, even though we got a lot of goats running around. He's like, yo, and right now, my niggas, in real time, I'm the fucking one. I'm Neo. I am him. I am him. So hard work and consistency, something that our good brother who is in his 80s, Minister Farrakhan, is known for, right? something that he is known for, something that people, as much as they can say negative things about that man, they cannot deny the fact of his consistency. They cannot deny the fact that that man and his organization have been working very hard throughout the years. And if anybody says, well, what has he done for me lately? Nigga, what has your organization done lately? What have your leaders done? Who the fuck are they and where are they at? Where are they now? Talk black to me. Give me a cereal box and show me where your leaders are at. Because there ain't too many people out here still running the motherfucking marathon or the victory lap other than the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. And I'm talking about people who started the race with them. Don't bring up somebody who came in the race in the... This is the Kentucky Derby, right? Don't come to me with a nigga who was washing his horse half the race and hopped in the last lap. Don't bring up a name of somebody who popped up at the end of the race talking about they running a victory lap. No, nigga, your feet don't work. I'm talking about, did you start with that man? Did you start running with him? Did you start running with him? I need to know. So I'm just giving you the breakdown of the work. My personal feelings and all of this, or you niggas and your conspiracies about who's this and who's that, it's not what we're talking about right now. We're just talking about the fact that that man and his hard work, right, it's really paying off. You could talk about, oh, Facebook versus Farrakhan. Look, my niggas, retrograde. When we break down the retrograde, we're going to explain what this shit really is. What might look like a negative is actually a positive in this retrograde. What might look like, oh, they shutting them down. Oh, no, nigga, they giving you an opportunity to boss the fuck up. Sometimes you got to get pushed off the ledge in order to fly. So Darren Willing is asking, is Louis Farrakhan a government agent? To my knowledge, Louis Farrakhan is not a government agent, okay? If you want to know so much. Now, go to Google and Wikipedia and go and do some more research if that's something that you want to prove and show to the family. But no. I'm not one of the goofy niggas that's gonna run and say that, because, you know, what Louis Farrakhan is Louis Farrakhan has been the foundation to where, you know, to aid and assist me in my transformation. Yeah, somebody said Al Sharpton might be an agent, but I'm not gonna throw Louis Farrakhan, I'm not gonna paint him with that brush. Why? Because the minister, even though there may be some ideologies that I'm not in agreement with, I don't agree to the milk thing. You know what I'm talking about? I don't agree to certain things, but I would be a hypocrite and a goofy ass nigga if I was to say that somebody says, why is he still alive under this government? If somebody gets on my live and asks, why is Farrakhan still alive under this government, I'm going to say that you a scary ass, fear-filled, weird person. Because once again, and this is what I'm talking about with the condition of the conscious community, the condition of woke people, and the condition of brothers and sisters that are out here fact or seeking information. First of all, you were on a path of enlightenment. You were supposed to be taking this information for personal transformation and for empowerment. Whoever the fuck you veered off of this highway of information to listen to, right? That person has injected a level of bitch assness, a level of fear, and a level of inferiority complexes in a whole bunch of you victimhood consciousness advocates. That's what he's done. This is your teachers. These new niggas on YouTube, a lot of the people that y'all following are ambulance chasers. They not teachers. They're ambulance chasers. They show up for all of the black pain. They show up for all of the different situations. They're not here to teach you about empowerment. They're not here to teach you about your greatness. They're not here to pump no courage in your heart. All they trying to do is have you in fear of these Europeans all your life and give this white man the power that he don't deserve. How dare you niggas give white people so much power? Have you ever been in a situation where you wasn't the toughest nigga in the room, but somebody was bigging you up like you the toughest nigga in the room? And then you be like, well, goddamn it, I don't feel like that. But if you feel like that, nigga, I'm the toughest one in the room. That's the situation that we find ourselves in with these people, with these white people and you niggas. It's you niggas that are making them feel tough because they're not tough. They not supreme. They not in charge. They're not out here killing everybody. But you niggas have forfeited your testicular fortitude to the ops without even fighting them. You didn't even put up a fight. You niggas just running around giving them all of your energy. And that's weird to me. That is super weird to me. That's you niggas have already tapped out before the fight even began. How could we even stand on the front line together? You're not in Avengers Endgame. You didn't even come back when they brought the snapback. You niggas are not snapback worthy. You lost before the fight even started. You're not even in Wakanda. You couldn't even make it through the force field. But anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about initially before I was so rudely interrupted. Okay? We're talking about Minister Farrakhan and what he did for me in my tumultuous journey in life. Okay? Let me explain. For those who might not understand, who haven't been doing this for a very long time and maybe a little bit lost as to who this man was and why the streets, particularly troubled youth, particularly brothers and sisters who are, you know, who found themselves lost in the wilderness of North America. We had Father Allah to save us. We had Elijah Muhammad to come and save us. We had Noble Drew Ali come and save us. We had Marcus Mosiah Garvey come and save us. We had Father Allah, Clarence 13X. We had Louis Farrakhan come and save us. We had Khaled come and save us. We had a unique set. We had Dr. Sabi come and save us. We had Bobby Hemmett come and save us. We had, you feel me? Dr. Phil Valentine come and save us. We had Malcolm X, El Malik Shabazz come and save us. And the reason why I said save us, we're not identifying these men as quote unquote saviors, but we are identifying these men as saviors. Why? Because we got Taj Tariq Bey, we had C. Freeman L. You feel me? Brother Darren, you're good with us. You're not a troll. Don't worry about it. We won't hit you with the wrench. Okay? We had John Henry Clark come and save us. We had Baba Steve Coakley come and save us. We had Dale Brown come and save us. We had Mama Shahrazad Ali come and save us. We had Dr. Clark come and save us. Dr. Ben come and save us. Stokely Carmichael come and save us. Dr. Frances Cress Wilson, she came and saved us. Mama Pill came and saved us. Ma'a came and saved us. Dick Gregory, Baba Dick Gregory come and saved us. You understand? We had Martin Luther King, when he was swinging his sword, come and save us. Dr. Delbert Blair come and save us. You understand? Amos Wilson come and save us. Thank you, Anthony, for the donation, for the investment on the Cash App. Yes, we have KT the Arch Degree. Yes, we have Blue Pill. Yes, we have Mama Pill. We have Red Pill. We have Black Dot now. We got Brother Rich now, Father Rich. Yes, Queen of Four came and saved us. These people inspired other people. These are the influencers who have influenced other people. I see the Duke of Tears, Ivan Van Sertima, Barashango, Professor Griff, A.A. Rashid. Talk black to me. I'm talking about these are the frontliners. Supernova, Slum, by bringing the gangs together, the red and the blue, Laella Africa, Panic, Bobby Hemmett, Panic came following up his work. We had a lot of people come. Okay? I'm giving credence to the elders. I'm giving credence to the ancestors. I'm giving credence to the master teachers, the ones who came. Claude Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson. I'm particularly naming the ones who came before YouTube. No offense to the YouTube scholars. No offense to the people who came afterwards. Baba Ajra Kwesi. No offense to the people who came in the YouTube era. I'm talking about the ones who came in the 80s and in the 90s and in the early 2000s. Okay? That's who I'm talking to right now. Because Dr. Jewel Pookrum, they inspired the YouTube scholars of today. Baba Heru Samaj, they inspired the YouTube scholars of today. Before YouTube. No offense to the YouTube era, but our stories are being written right now. We're talking about the stories that were already written. And I named those names specifically because those names, right? Those names were the ones who came along and shattered the boxes that we were living in prior to this evolution of this woke movement and the conscious movement and all of these things. These brothers and sisters did not know about YouTube. They did not know that there was going to be millions of people calling themselves conscious in the future. They did not know that generations of us were going to wake up. That did not stop them from speaking to us directly, from speaking to the mud. Dr. Tony Browder, okay? That did not stop them from pulling our people out of the mud and getting their hands dirty. That did not stop them from standing up against this beast. That did not stop them from speaking truth to power. That did not stop them from caring enough about the streets, because remember, we were forgotten. They shitted on us. They were pissing on us. People did not give love. They did not reach back to the trenches. They did not give love to the people who were quote unquote going in and out of the system and whatnot. Farrakhan was there for me when I needed him, bro. That man's information, even if people call it elementary information now because they so deep and whatnot, in the 90s when I was receiving that information, that shit was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing. I'm talking 80s, 90s type shit. Like Dr. York's information was mind-blowing. In the 90s when I was able to glimpse at the pamphlets, the shit blew me away. I didn't understand everything that I was looking at. I did not understand everything that I was reading. Melchizedek, brother Melchizedek from War for Th3rd, legend. The elder, Dr. Felder. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. This is our pantheon. These are the names that I just named. This is our museum. The history of consciousness has to start with those names. Don't give me the name of people who were selling the information. Don't give me the name of people who were promoting the lectures. Don't give me the name of the people who were showcasing the talent. I'm talking about the talent because their names don't get mentioned enough. I'm talking about the legends. I'm talking about the talent. I'm talking about foundation. Yeah, Brother Shabazz as well. I'm talking about foundation. Brother Dawood as well. I'm giving you foundation. These are the legends. I'm not talking about the modern day teachers, y'all. I'm giving you the legends There's a whole bunch of new people that we could talk about. I ain't talking about them right now. I'm talking about the legends. I'm talking about these people with no blemishes on their goddamn record. I'm talking about these people who never called another teacher a motherfucker and told them to suck their genitals. I'm talking about these honorable men and women. Let's not get into these YouTube niggas right now. I'm talking about master teachers who did not try to throw other master teachers under the bus to get a point across. Honorable, men with integrity, men with character. That's what I'm talking about. People who stood on stages, who were doing the research, those men. People who risked their lives because they didn't do it for likes. There was no like button back then. There was no dopamine being released by a like button. They wasn't getting paid by YouTube. There was no checks being cut by Google. They wasn't monetizing their channels. They didn't have no channels. They just got busy, and for the love of the people. And you could see the love, and you could see the love on them, and you could tell that they have love in their hearts for the people. So the good brother, the Honorable the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, he's been doing this thing for a very long time. He's been doing this thing for a very long time. His level of information and how far he takes it, of course, I mentioned Mama Pill already. How far he takes it and his level of information, it might not be up there with the deepest scholars that that the conscious community has to offer. But to be honest with you, I'm not measuring these men. I can't do that to these men. We have great people. Like, you got football greats. You have basketball greats. You got baseball greats. Or you got people who was great on the Knicks. But then you got brothers and sisters. You got people who was great on the Lakers. You know, it's different schools of thought and knowledge. So our legends, because we're so magnanimous as a people, we're so 720 as a people, we're so universal as a people, I would never say one person has all of the light. That's not how we work. We're messianic people. We're not Messiah. It's not monolithic. We're not white. We're not Europeans. We don't come out of the caves. We don't deal with monolithic information or monolithic movements and whatnot. We're poly. It's multitudes of us. We're poly. It's a whole bunch of us. Okay? It's a whole bunch of us. Professor Smalls, Alim Bey. Okay? If anybody, you know, I'm going to repeat the names when I see them. If they're a part of the segment, no disrespect to anybody else, but if they're a part of that segment, I will mention their names because I don't want to mention other names and you know, you'll be confused. You'll be confused. Shit, you might go and listen to some of these elders and see where some of these new niggas is getting their information from. How about that? How about a lot of these new niggas is remixing old information? How about that? You didn't know that? You didn't know that part? You didn't figure that one out? So we not dealing with remixers, niggas that invented the remix. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about these other people. Okay? Uranus was in Taurus in 1941, the last time from 34 to 41. This is our chance to correct things like the end game. And that is exactly what we're going to be talking about tonight. The fact that the windows have opened up. In a week's time. In a week's time. Yes, Hitler was in power and there was a world war. In a week's time. There's been so many windows. April 24th brought in the retrograde. Like I said, Saturn, Pluto, and Capricorn. And now we have this new moon in Taurus. Pluto is going to act a fool. Pluto is going to act a fool. Understand that. You're going to see end-game prophecies. You're going to see end-time prophecies more than likely during this Pluto retrograde because, you know, it's a lot of death in the air. It's a lot of death in the air, but it's not something to be alarmed about or afraid about. It's like Thanos said, I'm the inevitable. The shit is inevitable. How about it? What are you talking about? It's inevitable. And if you have not taken notes, and if you not if Mama Nipsey has not broken you out of your fear of death, then I suggest you go back and listen to the man's Nipsey Hussle's memorial, his homegoing service, so you could get a better understanding about how to celebrate death as if it was life. Because when you make your transition or when you make your ascension, we should be celebrating your accomplishments. We should be celebrating your body of work. We should be celebrating your commitment to your community as a social entrepreneur. And we should keep it moving and just say, you know, the marathon continues. We're going to pick up the mantle and keep it moving. That's the conversation that we should be having as a community. All of that boo-hooing and, oh my goodness, I forgive them. And oh my goodness, Jesus. And all of that. Yeah, that's the old paradigm. Remember, there's a shift that has been taking place. The shift already taken place. The shift is here. This is the end game. You understand? The shift, the paradigm shift that everybody was talking about. We're in the middle of it. The shit is shifting right now. So what worked for us before is not working for us anymore. Jesus is out the window. That shit, he's out the window. 400 years is up. The time is up. We're going to Thanos snap Jesus. He's gone. Turned into dust. We're on the Christos energy now. We're on the Christos energy, the Christ energy, the Christ consciousness, the Christos with a K. That's the energy that we resonating with right now. Okay? That's the energy that we resonating right now. That Christos energy. The fact that the Christ consciousness exists in so many of us. Okay? The Christ consciousness, it exists in so many of us that they could never get rid of us. They could never silence us. They could never ban us. That shit is the Mark Zuckerberg. That's a sorry ass. You know, that was a desperate measure right there. That was a desperate measure to show you that these people who we give so much power to, we give so much credit to. You know that we've been extending white people all of this. Their credit score is 850 in a lot of black people's minds these days inside of their real estate. Their credit scores on 8,000. White people, that is, that they call white supremacists. Because they've given them so much credit. You feel me? They've given them so much credit and they've said that they killed everybody that died. Oh, they killed everybody. They're responsible for everyone's death. They're responsible for everything. Not to say that they're not out here doing devilishment and wickedness. But when you talk about them, you give them more power than you actually take from them. You don't. A lot of these teachers are not talking about Europeans as if these people don't have the power. They're giving these niggas their power. They're forfeiting their power to these Poindexters. Real talk. Pay attention. Pay attention. They're not taking their power back. So, you know, woe on to them. Woe on to them. But where we're at right now is we're identifying the time that we're in the presence. We're not giving them any power. We're taking shit back from them. They're actually returning their power to us. Do you know the time that you're living in right now? Have you paid attention to everything that's going on to our people? We could just look at sports right now to pay attention to certain things. I brought it up the other day. What was the recent thing that happened? Oh, okay, not even sports. Miss America, Teen USA, and Miss USA are all melanated. The WWE, the nigga Kofi got a belt, the world champion, right? There's another person, a sister, a boxer, she got a belt. It's some other shit that just happened that broke records. Like, there's all kind of records going on. Tiger Woods won in golf. Lil Xan X is on the top of the billboards. Lil Nas X. I call him Lil Xan X. Tiger's back. Nigga, the eye of the tiger is back. Nigga, Kofi got the belt in the WWF. I think my dude gonna knock Canelo out tonight. It's a lot of grace and favor, right, bestowed upon our people. Okay? It's a lot of grace and favor falling on our people. This is called the falling of America. This is called the falling of the Matrix. This is called the quote-unquote disrupting of what is known as white America. Remember, Saturn, big karma. It's called big karma. So at the end of the 400-year curse on what they call black people, and I think it's the 400-year curse on the original slaves who were the Slavs, who were Europeans. Like, I think that this is their end time. But anyway, if you subscribe to the end of the 400-year curse and we're in a Jubilee year, it's a lot of Jubilee shit happen. It's a lot of Jubilee shit happen going on. I'm talking all around us. But when you subscribe to victimhood consciousness, when you niggas is chasing, you running behind all of these stories that ambulance chasers are throwing out.
What soap am I gonna use?
The green one. Let me see your phone real quick when you get in the shower. This dude right here. So when you look at all of these factors, this is not the plan of this quote unquote European. This is not their plans. This is shit that's happening that's not in their plans. When they see it happen, they like, damn, yo,
What?
this prophecy, huh?
What?
What?
What soap?
Hold on. Yeah. No, it's some more in there. Go and look in there.
I did.
Well, then that's it then.
What, the one in the pink thing?
Yeah, bro.
I'm not your bro.
Yeah, you are my bro. So that's what we see. That there are a lot of things. The great divine speaks through signs. I'm not saying that that's the only thing, but one of the places that we all look at, one of the places that we all can identify is entertainment and sports. Sports and entertainment. Go and look at sports right now. I had an interesting earlier today. I read an interesting article about the Kentucky Derby. Okay, and I'm not sure if the family is aware that when the Kentucky Derby started out, right? I ain't from Kentucky. I ain't from Louisville. Shout out to Louisville. We was out there. That shit is big in Louisville. So the original champions of the Kentucky Derby for the last, quote unquote, for the first 10 years of the Kentucky Derby, the top jockeys were brothers. The top jockeys in the Kentucky Derby were black men. Okay? We had control of the horses. We had a control over the horses that the European could not, he was not, quote unquote, he did not master the horse. For everybody that's running around saying that he was the original cowboy and no. So if he was the original cowboy, why that nigga wasn't winning the Kentucky Derby? Why? Go and do your research. They were record holders. They were record holders in, yeah, the maximum security, the horse maximum security. Was it from Panama? But they said it got disqualified. The top jockeys of the Kentucky Derby for 10 to 20 years were black men. You can go ahead and look that up. That is a fact. Okay? That is a fact. My son gave me his phone. I'm going to look up the definitions of the retrograde so we could all be in tune to the retro. I'm going to read some stuff out. I wish I had it so I could put it on the screen, but I'm going live. Maybe on Tuesday when Blue Pill does Tough Talk Tuesdays with Kim Bripson. He does a Zoom. He shares the screen so he could share the screen and he can show you the some of this information on these quote-unquote retrogrades. Okay? All right. This is Saturn retrograde 2019, right? Clearing the past. Clearing the past. I know about making sure people in their personal charts. This is a general reading, okay? This is a general reading, okay? So when you want to apply to your rising sign or your horoscope, you're going to have to go ahead and get a reading by Aquarius Maximus, my good brother Ra Aku, or anybody else that they recommend who does the horoscope or the cosmophysic breakdowns. This is basic that I'm giving you, okay? Yeah, so Kentucky Derby is 145 years old, right? Yes. So here's a correction. Cedric Jackson said black men not only won the Kentucky Derby, but they helped create it. Okay. So our own people helped create the Kentucky Derby. Is that part? Do they teach us that in school? Is that part of black history? Is that part of when you go to the Kentucky Derby now, when the brothers and sisters is dressed up and whatnot? Do they even know that shit? Are they? Does little Nas X know that can't nobody tell me nothing because we was riding them horses on the main road 145 years ago? Riding on my horses. And then niggas try to talk down to little... They try to talk down to the Indigos. They try to talk down to the Starseeds. They try to talk down to this new generation who are the ancestors reincarnated that are doing things that you niggas was too scared to do. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Let that man eat. If he want to take over the country charts, let him do that. Fuck is wrong with you? Are you serious? That's our shit. We the cowboys. We the Buffalo Soldiers. They've been jacking us. That's why they're trying to hide them off the charts. They don't want to know about the fact that we are the originators, because that's a blues. When you listen to that song, that's blues right there. That ain't country. Go and listen to little Nas X. That's a blues song. Can't nobody tell me nothing. He's on every international chart. They was big mad at him for that. Then he went and got Billy Ray Virus, and he threw him on the damn thing. That's a blues song. All right? We're the originators of that. And we're the originators of country. We taking everything. Because there's not enough plates at the table, so we got to take the table. Ain't that what they telling us? There's no billionaires in rap. Jay-Z and Beyonce had to join forces to make a Billy, and rap is 45 years old. There's obviously something going wrong in that game because it already generated $1 trillion. But there's no billionaire single-handedly that got melanin in hip-hop. All of the billionaires that made money is euros. So you obviously, that's a rape scene. Get the rape kit. You know what I mean? They've been raping our people. That's raping you records. Something is terribly wrong in the music industry. Go and look at Sam Cooke. They Sam Cooke, my brother. They Sam Cooked Sam Cooke, right? In Los Angeles, was he 33? The same age of Nipsey, who died in Los Angeles, and they were on the same wave about ownership, distribution, and owning your masters. Talk black to me. Talk black to me. Because ever since they Sam Cooke, the goddamn game has been raping you records. Black men has been getting railroaded and washed up ever since. Ever since. And then Nipsey tried to come along and give niggas the game. Nipsey tried to come along and teach about cryptocurrency. Nipsey tried to come along and teach about decentralized platforms and why you need to leave Facebook. Nipsey tried to come along and teach us about crypto. Nipsey tried to come along and teach us about ownership. Nipsey tried to come along and teach us about things that we should know about in 2019. Nipsey came along and gave you the keys to where Zuckerberg wouldn't be able to shut you down if you listen to Nipsey. No, Dr. Dre did not make $1 billion. We're going to get into that a little bit tonight. Let me get into this thing about the retrograde. On Monday, April 29th, Saturn, the planet of karma, responsibility, and life lessons, begins his 4-month backward stint in our sky. Not to worry. Saturn retrograde is nothing to panic over. It is not nearly as intense as Mercury retrograde and won't send our email servers crashing down. Saturn retrograde is actually a good thing. It slows down the pace of our lives just enough so we can reorganize and reassess our commitments. Okay? I'm going to relate what I'm reading to what we find ourselves, the situation that we see right now. Saturn retrograde is actually a good thing. It slows down the pace of our lives just enough so we can reorganize and reassess our commitments. So right after, on Monday, April 9th, right after that, they took down Minister Farrakhan off of Facebook and off of Instagram, right? A leader of hundreds of thousands of black men, a leader of some of the most viral social media activists or social media personalities on the internet right now, namely Rizza Islam, Brother Ben X, Wesley Muhammad, and Nuri Muhammad. All 4 of those alone, they got a whole nation on a digital. I'm not talking about Final Call newspapers. Shout out to Final Call newspaper. Y'all legends in your own right. I'm talking about they mastered the internet. Okay? We're not even talking about the minister alone. We're talking about his students have mastered the digital realm and they have a following. They have a master following that goes into the millions. So they take them off of a Jewish-owned, left-wing liberal, LBGT, pro-LBGT, right? Because that's what Facebook, that's what Twitter, that's what everything coming out of quote-unquote Silicon Valley has identified themselves as. They are not non-governmental. They are not non-political. They politicize themselves with the move that they just made. They are a political entity now. Facebook and Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook and Instagram have now entered into the realm of political entity because they are not non-biased. They are biased because they did not release, they did not ban for life anybody from the quote-unquote left. Where did they go after? They went after Alex Jones. They went after Milo. They went after all of their little cohorts and whatnot, all of their minions. And then they singled out the minister, Louis Farrakhan, because of his anti-Zionist and his quote-unquote rhetoric about spreading the truth, dealing with the quote-unquote Khazars and Ashkenazis. The same man who just brokered peace in Los Angeles between the Bloods and the Crips and brokered peace in Los Angeles amongst everybody who was out there. It didn't matter what gang you claimed. It didn't matter if you was melanated and you were coming to pay respects to Nipsey Hussle inside of a quote unquote very violent gang, active gang community. The Nation of Islam was holding you down. If you were at the Staples Center, if you were on a 25-mile quote unquote motorcade, if you were around anywhere in Los Angeles for the 3 weeks that the whole Nipsey Hussle thing had shut that whole city down, it was the Nation of Islam under the tutelage and under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. They were keeping the body count very low. That is a Snapple fact. That's something that you just can't look past. That's not something that you could be like, but what about Scientology? And what about the milk and whatnot? That don't got nothing to do with what I'm just talking about. I'm talking about, but instead of them sitting around and sitting on their hands, where was the RBG flag wavers? Where was the MSTA? And that's not to take no shots at nobody. Where was the quote unquote Hebrew Israelites? Could they be patient and disciplined enough to deal with the people in a way where they weren't fighting, cursing, and trying to have shootouts with the people who got on their nerves? Or they weren't trying to proselytize or to push their quote-unquote religion or their organization or their GoFundMe on everybody that they came across? No, I don't think that a lot of people were able to do that. So what does this moon say? It says it slows down the pace and it gives us just enough time so we could reorganize and reassess. What does that mean? The Nation of Islam has some reassessing to do right now. They have some reorganization that they could do right now. They could actually come out on top of this. They could actually come out on top of this, and they can actually win this quote unquote tug of war with these internet giants, because I'm telling you this. If they don't win this war, if they allow these quote-unquote Zionist trillionaire behemoths to step on them, then they will be pushed into the analog world and they will be crushed by the digital giants. They'll just be stuck with that newspaper. They will be pushed into an analog world by the digital giants that are named Amazon. They call it the top 4. Google, because when they cut your shit off of YouTube, that's Google shooting at you. When they ban you from Instagram, that's FB shooting at you. When Amazon stops selling your books, that's Amazon and Jeff Bezos shooting at you. So all guns are aimed at the minister right now. And they're utilizing Alex Jones and the rest of these patsies as who they are. Patsies. They've always been patsies. They've always been patsies. Whenever they do something to Alex Jones, you know that they about to, the shit rolls downhill and they trying to line up one of our brothers. You understand? Bad news, stand up. I see you. Exactly. Make your own platform. Listen, didn't Nipsey tell you that? Is Idris Sandu, who is the brother who was, he's an African. He's the brother responsible for developing a smart store on the Marathon store. He's the one who he's the one who made it smart. He's the one who brought the aspect of technology and smart stores and smart technology to Nipsey Hussle. He's still alive. He works with Facebook and Instagram. He was responsible for creating the Explorer page for Instagram. He talks at Apple. This is called brain drain. This is when resources kick in. This is when the quote unquote leadership aspect of how you respond to situations during a retrograde, this is when it kicks in. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Minister Farrakhan was on Alex Jones' show, but fuck Alex Jones. You understand? And if I was one of Minister Farrakhan's advisors, I would tell him to never do no dumb shit like that. Get away from Alex Jones. You don't need Alex Jones. He's a rebel rouser, and if the revolution went down tonight, that nigga will come and cut your head off. Okay? Let's start by first understanding what actually happens when a planet is retrograde. Saturn takes about 29 years to orbit the sun. That's a lot longer than Earth, which means we pass it every year. When we are catching up to Saturn, it appears to be moving backward, much like when a train passes a slower train. It's not actually moving backward, it just appears that way. Saturn is retrograde for 4.5 months every year. Saturn creates and governs and rules the regulations we live by as a society. So the rules and the regulations that we live by as a society is going to be disrupted. It reminds us of our responsibilities to ourselves, our life, and to others. It also teaches us hard life lessons and helps us work out our karma in various ways. Karma is energetic attachment. It's neither positive or negative. It's just energy we are stuck with until we work it out. For example, if we're not so kind to someone in a past relationship, our energy stays attached to that situation until we can detach it by making amends to the person or by learning how to resolve the issue through another relationship. Karma does not necessarily need to be worked out with the person involved in the initial attachment, but with the resulting energy left within us. So if there's a karmatic relationship going on social media with Minister Farrakhan and Dr. Sabi, I think that should be worked out. I think that should be worked out with the people who are alive and who are still here and who are being affected by that quote unquote back and forth. Yeah, that's karma. Once we work out our karmatic attachments, we are free to evolve energetically. This, of course, can take lifetimes and is the reasoning behind reincarnations. We reincarnate into a particular form because of our karmatic attachments. Saturn retrograde slows it down a bit so we can reevaluate our life, including our karma. It gives us time to understand the deeper meaning of why we might attract the same circumstance over and over again. It also brings our karma to the surface. We may find during Saturn retrograde our past karma comes back so we may understand it in efforts to clear it from our energy. It's all positive though. We want to work out as much karma as we can in this lifetime, so we are free to evolve. According to Hindu philosophy, the goal of each lifetime is to get a little closer to reaching enlightenment. The only way to do this is by clearing our karma. So we all individually have some things that we need to clear up. But I just want to clarify something, and please don't judge me and don't get upset. And you know, if you're gonna take this and utilize a soundbite, go ahead and take the whole context of what is being said. But according to the situation between Dr. Sabi and Farrakhan that I see taking place on Instagram or online, it was Dr. Sabi saying that Farrakhan, Oprah Winfrey, and a whole bunch of other celebrities didn't give him a platform. They took away his voice. They didn't give him a platform to let the world know that he cured AIDS. That's what he said on the Rock Newman show. It's not Red Pill talking. That's what he said. He said that these people who were in leadership positions, who had their platform, like Zuckerberg has Facebook as a platform, did not give him a platform to speak. Did not tell the world who he was. It took Nipsey Hussle in 2019 or 18 to say, yo, I want to do a documentary on Dr. Sabi. And Dr. Sabi been around since the 80s. Lisa Leftout Lopez wanted to do a documentary on him and she died. Michael Jackson wanted to do some work on Dr. Sabi and put him out there. He died. You understand? There's a lot of people who wanted to get his work, his name out there, and they unfortunately made their transition before they could do such. So now we have a situation with Minister Farrakhan and somebody's denying him a platform to speak, and they took his platform away. Okay? That's cosmic karma. That's not me saying anything. I'm just pointing out what should be obvious to anybody who just heard me read this. There has to be some kind of amendments made. There has to be some sort of resolve. There has to be some sort of clearing of a karmatic debt so we can move forward. That's what I'm seeing. It works both ways. So here it is, this man saying, oh, people were blocking me And here it is, we seeing our man getting blocked. So on a more, I'm gonna continue reason. Is Nick Cannon yeah, he's willing to. Nick Cannon is carrying the torch. And he's not living in fear because nobody is gonna kill anybody for doing a documentary. Once again, that's bird ass, that's niggas with their bird ass, bird chest. This niggas with bird chest. With they don't have a lion's heart. They don't have no kind of courage whatsoever. Any man that would tell you that somebody got killed for trying to make a documentary, that's a scary ass nigga. With no proof, that's a scary ass Negro. I don't want to hear about all of the doctors that got killed because none of them on that list is black. None of them are melanated and none of them are my doctors. Dr. Layala Africa is alive. There's a whole bunch of doctors that are still here with us and nobody killed them. The only person that's killing them is the niggas who don't support them. That's the killer right there. You know what I'm talking about? I'll be damned if I give white people the credit for anything. They're not getting my credit. Fuck out of here. Not in the retrograde. Who's killing black doctors? Nobody's killing no black doctors. You know what I'm talking about? Black doctors are suffering because black people are not supporting them. That's what I see. Don't talk to me about the 800 white men, white doctors that's getting knocked off. I don't know them. They never came to the hood. I never got treated by them. Over the 30 years of holistic teaching, they wasn't in the crowd and they was not on the stage. There's mad people that's in front of them that look like us that I'm worried about. Fuck is you talking about? Y'all niggas is weird to me. Let me get back to this thing. On a more earthly level, Saturn retrograde gives us the time to reevaluate our commitments. Saturn is now stationed in Capricorn. Both are hardworking, diligent energies, ready to motivate us to new heights. Saturn drives us to do our best work and work hard. It reminds us that no mountain is too high with the right effort and determination. Saturn is always driving us forward to reach new levels in our career, motivating us past our mental roadblocks and strengthening our ability to discipline ourselves. Remember, Saturn retrograde gives us a time to pause and reevaluate our long-term commitments. Are you resounding? Yes, still resounding? Saturn retrograde is a great time to change directions or to get out of situations in which we feel trapped. Charging ahead is wonderful, but we want to reaffirm that we are on the right path. With this energy of reassessment, Saturn retrograde is a great time to define our boundaries. Learn to say no to what is not meant for your energy. If something is not helping evolve our energy, we must learn to walk away and detach so we are free to evolve in a different direction. Are they calling for us to delete Facebook? Are they calling for us to detach from Facebook? Are they calling for us to detach from Instagram? Are they calling for us to detach from YouTube? No, they're not. Why? Why are they not utilizing this power of the retrograde to detach? Is nobody over there into astrology? Talk black to me. I'll be right back. Got to get my power cord. So now that we have a better understanding of of the retrograde and what it means, right? And what it means, Why aren't the people who are being affected by the retrograde tapping in to the power of the retrograde? Because if there was a mass calling to delete Facebook, Facebook would have got deleted. They would have been getting deleted this whole week because the energy is pointing to detachment. The energy is pointing to say, how many Fed book posts are y'all gonna put up? How many the Facebook is that? How many times you gotta see Zuckerberg on Capitol Hill talking to the Congress to realize that this thing is a big surveillance program? How many times does YouTube have to demonetize our videos and do all of these things for us to finally say, you know what? I'm tired of my timeline with all of these ratchet twerkers. I'm tired of listening to what Cardi B is thinking. I'm tired of all of these women soliciting box on Instagram in the broad daylight. I'm tired of all of that. You know what? I'm going to just go and start my own shit because Nation of Islam got a lot of pull in India. They have a lot of pull in China. And they have a lot of pull in Africa. I saw videos with Minister Farrakhan meeting with hundreds, not hundreds, but a whole lot of African leaders and presidents. Do you know how this thing works with the European when they go and get their quote unquote tech, when they go and get their tech geniuses? Is that the thing running? Is that the all right, give me a minute. Amir, fix that toilet, please. So this is what happens when they go and get their tech talent, because the talent to build your own social media network, it exists in India, but more so in Africa. Because if anybody goes on Google right now and you put technopreneur, that's a play on the word entrepreneur, but it's called technopreneur. Put top 10 African technopreneurs and prepare to be blown away, because the majority of them are under 30 and they're from countries that you thought the people were starving and had flies on their faces, but these are technological geniuses in Africa. These are geniuses that are coming right out of the continent. They're working with China. They're working with, they're learning, they're working with the tech giants like Google and whatnot. Idris, the brother Idris Sandu, is one of these people who I'm speaking about. Idris Sandu is one of the people that I'm referring to he's a tech genius. He works for Instagram. He works for Facebook. And he lives in California. And he's for hire. All of these people are for hire. That you could all hire them for a gig. So if a representative were to reach out to any of these African countries, because what do? They go into this is what Google and these tech companies will do. They will go overseas and they will hire what is known as brain. They would tap into the brain drain. So they'll go into India and sit down with the prime minister or somebody who's high in the rankings and whatnot, and they would say, well, we're looking for about 100 people to grant visas to, because we want to bring them to Google, or we want to bring them to Facebook, or we want to bring them to Silicon Valley to work on these projects and whatnot. And they'll even exchange sometimes 100 people to go to India from America, and then they'll take their 100 engineers and whatnot, and that's called a brain drain. And those people will now be responsible for powering the machine. They'll be responsible for building out machine learning, artificial learning, AI, all of these things. All of these things. So my question is, why aren't we doing that? Why is the NOI not sending representatives to these African countries to get their tech geniuses and to bring them on board to build out the technology. Because remember, Minister Farrakhan said at Nipsey Hussle's homegoing, I just found out about this brother. I don't know much about him, but whatever you did to research about him, it pointed to the fact that he was an innovator, and he was pointing to ownership, and he was pointing to innovation through technology, and he was pointing to cryptocurrency, blockchain, Bitcoin, you name it, 3D printing, workspaces, social media platforms, decentralization. So how is it that you could say that we were studying Nipsey and you were behind the brothers movement? The marathon continues, and when Facebook did what they did, nobody from the end, because they do have their own streaming network. They do have their own streaming network. The Nation of Islam has their own streaming network. I believe it's called somebody give me the name of the studio that they have ownership to, so I don't mispronounce it. I believe it's IF something Studios. And when the whole thing went down with Netflix, they were speaking about the fact that they have their own broadcasting studio, NFA Studios. And if anybody, NGA Studios, NFA Studios is the name of their platform that they have to do what? To broadcast and to be a standalone, right, entity outside of the Facebooks of the world. Because if we are to catch up to these trillion-dollar companies, we have to have an organization and a man with influence who could bring 1 million people on a goddamn lawn to come together and to listen to him for multiple hours. We need that man to stand up and say, you know what? Do you know what? Guess what? I've proved the secret relationship. We're showing you that there's a secret relationship between a Jew and a white supremacist. There's a secret relationship between them and the quote-unquote Zionists. And we don't need none of them anymore. They don't control electricity. So we got our own thing. We're not relying on them anymore. We're creating a mass exodus off of all of their platforms. Come and follow me. And we're launching our own cryptocurrency, because you may not realize this. You might not know this, but at the same time that Facebook was deleting Farrakhan, they were making an announcement that they are doing what? They are launching their own cryptocurrency. If you don't believe me, go ahead and Google Facebook launches new cryptocurrency. They have their own cryptocurrency coming out very soon. Do you know what that means? That is a game changer. Do you know what mass adoption is? Mass adoption is when people take on to something. Niggas didn't know how to use the internet before 2008 when Barack Obama came. They didn't know how to use social media. A lot of people did not know how to use social media. The 2008 elections brought about what is known as mass adoptions. Okay? Mass adoption. So when Facebook introduces cryptocurrency, that is going to create what is known as mass adoption, meaning that everybody and their mama is going to know about cryptocurrency. They're going to be attracted to cryptocurrency, and all kind of institutions are going to adapt or going to pick up cryptocurrency after the trillion-dollar company Facebook jumps on board. JP Morgan has their own coin coming. Okay? So I could understand now why they would get rid of a person like Farrakhan, who has hundreds of thousands of followers, because now with the introduction of a cryptocurrency, you could probably come up with the NOI coin, or you could probably utilize Facebook's cryptocurrency through the NOI to get rich, and they don't want that. But guess what they can't stop? They can't stop the NOI from creating their own Bitcoin. They can't stop the NOI in the Nation of Islam jumping into the quote-unquote digital race In 2019, before 2020, who else is gonna do that on a mass level but the NOI, but the NOI, but the FOI, but the MGT, but Farrakhan? Who else can do it? Who got the ear to the streets? Who got the key to the streets? Who got the ear to the people? Who got the ear to hip hop? Who got P. Diddy and Jay-Z and all of them backing you? Canelo won? Astaghfirullah. God damn it. How did Canelo win? Who? They could come out with their own coin and the shit will pop. They could come out with their own coin right now. They could come out with their own cryptocurrency. They could come out with their own blockchain. They could come out with all of that right now, and people will adopt to that. Real talk. Nobody can stop you from making your own crypto. Nobody can stop you from investing in the blockchain. Why? Because it's something called decentralized. Nobody, meaning I'm unfuckwittable. That's what decentralized means. You can't fuck with that. You cannot stop that. So in this retrograde, you're going to be presented with problems, but you better be thinking with your right mind. You better be thinking with your conscious mind. You better be thinking with your solution, problem-solving mind. The only person that can stop you is you. The only person that can stop them is them. Zuckerberg ain't strong enough to stop the nation. I'm sorry. There's an NFA app. Y'all go and download the NFA app. Brother Ben X has a channel called Black on Demand. Yes, I'm promoting my brothers. I'm not no sorry ass, hating ass, bird ass nigga that will ever get on social media at a time when I see a war being launched against brothers and sisters who I stand in alignment with. You think my mama raised me to be some bitch ass nigga, some bird ass nigga? You think I would get up here and shoot at the minister? You niggas is out of your mind. I'ma support them. There's a digital war taking place, because if they could take the minister out, guess who else is coming up on a chopping block? You know what I'm talking about? Guess who else could get that work? Guess who else ain't safe? Nah, I'm with the minister. I'm riding for him. I'm riding with the nation. I'm riding with RZA. I'm riding with Ben. I'm riding with 19. I'm riding with Wesley. I'm riding with all of them. It's love. And hopefully the information that we have, we can share with them, because they can utilize that at this time right now, especially with this unique window that's open, because it's not going to stay open for long. There's a whole bunch of other stuff going on as a result of the retro, but I'm just pointing this out because this is one of the most clearest examples to showcase the planetary. It's nothing to get upset about. It's all in the stars. It's all in alignment. Everything that's supposed to happen is happening. This is the end game. You know what I'm talking about? Like, everything that's supposed to be happening is happening. Yeah, happy new moon. So in this Taurus moon, and the minister's a Taurus, you have there's power out there. You know what I'm saying? We've done many shows to talk about how to tap into the internet is gonna shut down soon. And if it does, then it does. I'm not waiting, you know what I mean? Like, that's not how that's not my solution to the situation. I don't do doomsday scenarios, and I'm not doing you know, I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Okay? What's our ultimate agenda? You tell me. Because your ultimate might not be my ultimate. And how dare I tell you what my ultimate agenda is, and that might not be yours. So nah, I won't even share what that is because that's rhetorical. You know. But but that's what it is. Yeah. There's so many people that will kick you when you're down. There's so many clout chasers out there who are starving for your attention. They're starving for your Cash App donations. They're starving for your viewership. They're starving for your eyeballs. They're starving for you to speak about them in the same light that you spoke about Farrakhan. That's what they want. That's what they're starving for. They'll risk anything. They throw it all away to be in that man's shoes. But I don't think, like, there's not a lot of people that could do that, bro. You can't even stand in Rizza Islam's shoes. You feel me? You can't even step in the shoes to some of the brothers selling bean pies and newspapers. And you talking about trying to fill up somebody else's shoes. Like, no. We have to be, at the end of the day, like, I'm not built like that. I don't come from that generation. I don't get on social media. This shit lasts forever. I don't get online beating on my chest, acting like I'm tougher than you know what I mean? Or I'm bigger and I'm better. Because I promise you, a majority of them niggas that be talking that talk, when them bow ties and them hard bottoms pull up on them niggas be all teeth. Yo, you gotta, what flavor bean pies you got? They start, here I'm talking about, they start backtracking. I'm dead serious. They don't want no smoke. I respect any group of men who are disciplined to whereas they could carry themselves a certain kind of way. They have love in their hearts for their quote unquote big homie or their leader or their general. They are in uniformity because they wear the same uniforms, or their uniforms speak to their uniformity, meaning that you don't find a NOI with their pants showing off their boxers. You won't find an NOI in baggy clothes. You won't find the NOI looking dusty and dingy. You won't find that. You're going to find them in uniform. They might take those suits off when they get home or whatever, or when they, when it's downtime. But the same way that you respect the army for marching through and, being in uniformity because they have all of their fatigues on and whatnot, well, God damn it, that's the same way that I respect those men that are suited and booted and whatnot. If you need some more, how fickle our people are, how fickle and finicky our people are. It was just 3 weeks ago, niggas was like, oh shit, the NOIs in LA, look at they drill, they drilling. Look at them marching. Oh, they look like an army. Oh my goodness. It's lit. Straight up. Niggas was dick riding. Niggas is so fickle. But I thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you. That was a nice Cash App. That was a nice one right there. They was marching to one beat. But they not, look, I went to LA. I was on Crenshaw. They not just doing this for play. This shit serious. I was in DC earlier this year at the brother Willie Wilson's church when the minister spoke, and I saw him live. The NOI is serious. A lot of niggas is not serious. A lot of niggas is not disciplined. They don't obey rank. They don't obey rank and file. How could you ever be a general? How could anybody talk about they in the army? How could anybody talk about that they gonna lead any kind of revolution and you niggas is not disciplined? You don't have no rank and file. There's no leadership around these niggas. There's no leadership surrounding none of these people out here who claim to be leaders, and all of this. There's organizations that got started that only lasted 1 month, 1 year. These niggas can't hold together. They couldn't hold shit together. What is you talking about? They got no discipline. So by seeing that, and then seeing what these brothers are able to do, how can't you not respect that? How can't you not respect that? How can't you not salute that when you know anybody that been in any kind of conflict, any kind of warfare, any kind of smoke? It's not necessarily the most toughest and roughest motherfucker that wins the war. It's the most disciplined. It's the most disciplined. It's motherfuckers who could keep a secret. It's the motherfucker who could put in work and shut their mouth. It's people who could put in work without having to get charged up and you throwing a battery in their back. They just know what to do and they go and handle it and they do what they got to do and they play their motherfucking position. God damn it, that's honorable. How many of you niggas won a war with some dishonorable, undisciplined niggas? It's impossible. It's impossible. And what does our community need more than we need anything else? We need organization. I'm tired of seeing unorganized crime. I'm tired of seeing these cookie cutter organizations that ain't about nothing but robbing the people and victimhood consciousness and rebel rousing. I'm tired of that. Is the Nation of Islam and the FOI the most, are they the answers to everything that we need as a people? I never said that. I said that they're an inspiration. I said that these brothers and sisters inspire those of us who are out here who know what's lacking and we know what we need in order to level up and to get stronger in our stance. A lot of us, we feel the strength. We know that we strong, but we know that we're going to be stronger in the future. We know that it's 2 fingers on deck, but we looking for 3 more to make that fist. That's what we know. That's what we know. I can't stand here and say, I got mad disciplined soldiers around me that at a push of a button, they'll go kamikaze for the God. I can't say that. I can't say that. But I know and I'm aware of and I've been exposed to not the FOI only. There's other organizations, clandestine organizations that they don't even, you can't speak their name on the internet. They discipline. And if shit, you got street organizations. If they green light you and give the word, your ass is grass. You understand? Disciplined. They got young shooters that will jump off the roof if they tell them to do it. Discipline. Where ego is not interjected in people's decision making. They basically ride or die. If they took an oath and they signed up to do something, they're gonna do it. Look at the police right now. Look at the fraternal order of the police. You're dealing with an organization that's disciplined and they out here pushing wigs back because of their disciplinary, because somebody is telling them to. We talked about it before. Okay? We talked about it before on this show, that on the dark web and on the deep web, in some of these rooms that none of you niggas have access to, these Masonic organizations and these fraternal orders are putting out hits on niggas. And there's people who are taking up those hits, namely police officers, and they're being handsomely rewarded for putting in work. Because you could put in work, you're going to be protected. You're going to also get a GoFundMe and you're going to be rewarded. But there's specific rooms on the dark web and the deep web where they're even putting names out there. Yo, hit that nigga. We got 40 racks on his head. We got 100 racks on his head. We got 1 million on that nigga's head. If anybody takes this hit, you're going to get paid in cryptocurrency. Talk black to me. You don't know about that? Of course you don't. Disciplined mercenaries out here putting in work on niggas every single day. Every single day. And nobody got no kickback, no smoke, and no motherfucking answers to that shit. But you getting worked on by some disciplined soldiers. These race soldiers are very disciplined. And they are working niggas overtime. It started with Zimmerman. They are working niggas. They cooking niggas overtime. All of these quote unquote white supremacists. Didn't a synagogue just get shot up last week? The nigga shot the goddamn rabbi in the hand. Didn't a synagogue get shot up months before that? So if the synagogue got shot up, and they said that the shooters came from 8chan and 4chan and Reddit, which are hotbeds of all kind of white nationalistic activity, and we know that anybody who's on 4chan, 8chan, or Reddit, it's in the chat right now, you know that the next step for all of them is the dark web and the deep web, because that's where they go to do what? To watch torture films, child porn. Torture films are basically snuff films where they're killing. You remember the film that leaked on Facebook where they was hanging a black woman? That's all on the deep web. And there's hundreds of videos like that. It's just that they keep that a secret from the masses. They keep that a secret from the people. They keep, the internet is only 10% of the knowable World Wide Web. The other 90% is called the dark web and the deep web, and it's not accessible by www.coms. You got to jump on that shit with something called the onion router, the Tor. It's a whole nother web. It's a whole nother world. They gave you a glimpse of that. They gave you a glimpse of that, right? In the movie The Matrix. Okay? They gave you a glimpse of that in the beginning of The Matrix when Neo was doing what? He was jugging. He was hustling. He was selling illegal substances. Remember, he was selling a digital drug. And the man and the group, they came to his door and the woman had the rabbit on her neck. But he was on the dark web, probably on what is known like the Silk Road, jugging, bubbling. And then he came in contact with Morpheus. Morpheus was not on the internet. Morpheus was off the grid in the dark web or the deep web. That's where he was at. The deep web, when it was in its inception. What made it mad famous, what made it pop, was the fact that they had a website called the Silk Road that niggas was buying rocket launchers, grenades, silencers, automatics, kilos, poppy seeds, opium, all kind of things, you name it. Motherfuckers was on the Silk Road buying it. And what were they using? Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin to be exact. This was in its earliest inception. This is the beginning of cryptocurrency. This is the beginning of Bitcoin. It popped off by selling drugs. The same way that everything pops off on the web, either through pornography or through illicit underworld activity. If you don't believe me, look it up. Look it up. That's how the internet moves. Don't think that I'm being nasty and whatnot. Pornography, that's how they perfected that's how they perfected monetization on the internet. The quote unquote pay gates, the quote unquote e-commerce was perfected through the pornography. And the quote unquote dark web or the deep web helped perfect cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, because all of the credit card, how did you think the quote unquote swipers and all of these hustlers, these finessing ass niggas, the swipers, where do you think the rise of the swipers came from? Nigga, it was the deep web. That's where they was buying their credit cards and their numbers from the Russians, who were getting all of that information when they were hacking Amazon, Sears Roebuck, Target. Whenever you see a humongous hack, that means the niggas is on the dark web feasting right now. That means it's a gangster holiday. That's what that means, in case you square niggas never knew about that. Talk black to me and feed the Cash App, because I'm out here giving you niggas some cloth. How about it? That's where it came from. That's where it came from. So even on the dark web, there's mercenaries. There's mercenaries that are policemen. They're mercenaries that are policemen, and they are out here hitting niggas on some Grand Theft Auto type shit. They on some Fortnite, jumping out the motherfucking back, jumping out the window on you niggas. You can't infiltrate it because it's encrypted. You can't infiltrate it. It's military technology. The Tor network is military technology. Some people got access. Somebody just said, Red Pill, I got access to the dark web. You know what I'm saying? It's some people that got access to it. Some of you sisters out here running behind these snow bunnies and whatnot. Them white men who you out on your Tinder date, and you better be careful because a lot of black women are coming up missing and they popping up on the motherfucking the dark web for sale. They selling y'all. They selling organs. They selling kidneys. They selling rib cages. They selling goddamn eyeballs. You know what I'm talking about? They selling livers, hearts. A lot of women that's running behind swirling is getting banged up, and they selling them and they torturing them and they raping them on the dark web. That is a motherfucking fact. That is a goddamn fact. Go and do your research. There's a whole nother universe. That why you think white people don't be outside no more? They on the dark web. I'm dead ass. Yeah, they selling whole human beings. You could buy a whole baby. You could buy a Libyan slave. You could buy a Barquisha and Shaquita on the dark web. You could buy stolen iPhones. You could buy rocket launchers. You could buy whatever you want. The risk is up to you. You could buy kilos of coke. You could buy kilos of heroin. Afghanistan if you want it, my niggas. It's all yours. It's the same thing that the Matrix showed you. It is the Matrix. X pills. Oh, of course. X pills, Xannies, Percocets. You name it. There's movies about the dark web. There's TV shows about the dark web. There's Netflix specials about the deep in the dark web. Go and do your due diligence, but understand that you can't unsee certain things. So you have to navigate wisely. You have to navigate wisely through those avenues. If you have a European friend, if you out there bouncing on European phalluses or Vienna sausages, why don't you ask that nigga when you pillow talking how to get on the dark web? Cause he knows. You know what I'm talking about? He knows. That's a white secret. He knows. You know? But be very careful. Because that's how they hit their licks. That's how they make their plays. That's how they hit their licks. They don't hide secrets from each other. They know who they are on the dark. You know, them Europeans know about each other on the dark web. That's where they let their fangs out. That's where they let their fangs out. While Negroes and black people, mostly minorities or mostly POCs, people of color. And I don't mean to use those colorful terms, but I have to be very blunt because that's what they refer to us as in the digital realm. So on the above world, on the www.com world, the people of color or the quote unquote unsuspecting people who are really the crass consumers of all things internet, they've monetized all of your information. It's called surveillance capitalism. Surveillance capitalism, where everything that you do on Google is being sold, all of your data, your movements through your Fitbit. You know, you got your Fitbit on your phone. That's even further information. They paying top dollar for all of that stuff. All of these trillion-dollar companies who became trillion-dollar companies became trillion-dollar companies based off of surveillance capitalism, meaning that they have gotten into the business of selling data. They're not selling nothing on Facebook but advertisement and data. They're not selling anything on Google but advertisement and data. You the customer, you're the one that you are the. If you were to leave Facebook today, if you were to leave Google today, you would crash the stock market and the internet. if you were to leave because these platforms are making millions off of each person. These platforms rely on you being outraged on Instagram because your data is going to be sold. Your identity is going to be sold. It doesn't matter what happens around Donald Trump. They're going to talk about Donald Trump all day because you're going to talk about Donald Trump, and they can sell that information. Your location, they can sell that information. Your heart rate when you're working out. You might wear your Fitbit when you're putting in some work. All of that is for sale. All of the 3 minutes of the work that you put in when you was with your whiz, when you was with Babe, putting in that work, 2 humps like a Campbell. Yeah, all of that work is for sale. Your private videos that you upload to iCloud, all of that is information that they could sell. All of that is for sale. So the only way to really affect them, because their shareholders are going to go, their shareholders, remember, Facebook is answering to shareholders. Google and all of these, Twitter and all of them, they're answering to their shareholders. So if you dump these quote unquote networks, if you cancel these quote unquote networks, if you delete these apps, that's the only way that they're going to get nervous. But they're already trillionaires. They don't care. They're already trillionaires. They got it. They got it already. They already tapped in. They already took your lunch money. They already took your lunch money. Okay? Somebody is saying the movie with Nicolas Cage, 8mm. I don't know if 8mm touches on the deep web or the dark web. You know. But you got to be careful to, somebody said, Born Majesty said, accessing the dark web without a VPN, you're opening yourself up to be hacked and your information stolen. So going back to what I was saying about being able to navigate the dark web and the deep web safely, you need a VPN, okay? What's the difference between deep and dark? It's the same thing in the ocean. You could dive in the ocean and it gets deep, but then when you go deeper into the ocean, nigga, it gets dark. Okay? So you dive in the ocean gets deep, but after a while, it gets dark. So there's the deep web, right? And then there's the dark web. So the dark web is government. The dark web is like gangsters, you know what I mean? Russians and whatnot, hackers. The dark web is way at the bottom. But then there's the deep web. The deep web is like child pornography, credit cards, you know, a lot of things, you know, a lot of that surface shit right underneath the internet. The drugs, the Silk Road. They got a few other alternatives to the Silk Road right now. But the dark web, the dark web is very dark. That's where a lot of sick shit is taking place. You understand? It's a lot of sick shit. So the deep web is you know, but the dark web is where it gets sinister. Okay? And like I said, the internet, the known internet is 10. Think about the amount of websites. 10%. 10%. In the underworld, the dark web, the deep, they have their own amenta. 90% of the knowable, quote unquote, World Wide Web is those things. 90%. So you think you've been on all of the websites. You think you've seen it all. 90%, fam. 90%. That whole thing with the Boy Scout, with all of the child molestation, the whole thing with the Vatican with the child molestation, the whole thing with all of that. Where do you think they're sharing all of this information? Where do you think these children are showing up? Where do you think they're sharing these movies at? Where do you think all of this is taking place? This is the dark web. This is the deep web. It's not the internet. It's not the internet. It's not, niggas is not watching it on their phones. Yes, the deep web is the internet when it first started. Remember, the government started the internet. The internet is a military weapon. The internet was started by the military. So when the internet started out, it was all of it was the deep web. All of it was non-accessible. But then they commercialized segments of the internet. They commercialized it, and that's where we find the www internet. That is the commercialized version of the military tool that has been created. Yeah, I remember Faces of Death. Traumatized me when I was a kid. I couldn't unsee it. You know what I'm saying? Remember the shit with the monkey brain where they killed the goddamn monkey and it opened up its head and started eating it right there? That shit fucked me up when I was young. So, I'm just giving you some things that I thought we all knew about this, but apparently we don't. So I'm just giving you, and to be honest with you, there might come a day and time where we will, yeah, when dude shot himself in the mouth, I saw that too. That messed me up. There may become a time where we got to communicate on the deep web because we're going to all be banned from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, and all of that. And the only way that we'll be able to communicate in privacy without people basically tapping into our information or our thoughts or our movements will be the quote unquote deep web or the dark web. So I'm encouraging our hackers and our techies out there to go ahead and hip us, be there for us, work with us, talk black to me, set us up so we could navigate through the quote, so we could silver surf through the deep web and the dark web off of these networks where the whole world is watching us. Where the whole world is watching us and listening to us and writing down notes and whatnot. I don't be wanting to share this information with everybody. I don't want to be out here, you know I'm talking about, to everybody. Where's our white hats? Where's our black hats? Where are our hackers? Where's our hackathons? Where is it? Because that's what it's going to take for us to level up and to get with the motherfucking times. We're not living in the times of now. We are living in the analog world. We're not living in a digital world. Don't be fooled because you niggas got the new Samsung 10. That don't qualify you to be in a digital. You're not in a digital race. You're not considered to be in a digital world. Black people are considered to be in the quote-unquote analog world because we're not doing a lot of digital dashing. That is a fact. We have work to do. I'm just being honest with you. But we are technology. We are the matrix, my niggas. We are the zeros and the ones. You understand? We are the encryption. So it's not going to take long for us to catch up. It ain't going to take much for us to adapt because that's us. And that's what Nipsey was about. It's not going to take us long. We are early adapters. We are going to, the 100 monkey theory is going to kick in, and all of us are going to be app developers in a minute. All of us are going to be encryption coded hackers in a minute because truth be told, contrary to popular belief, the only definition for a hacker is a problem solver. That's what a hacker is. Have you ever hacked a problem? That means that you solved it. Don't get caught up in the semantics. A hacker is not an illegal person. A hacker is not something negative. We need more hackers because hackers are problem solvers. So look at all of these problems that we have as black people. Oh my goodness. I'm going to do a YouTube live stream and talk about our problems every week. I'm going to lambast our problems. I'm going to make that the foundation of my teaching is going to be victimhood consciousness. But I'm never going to give you a solution. I'm never going to talk about how to solve these problems. I'm never going to hack a problem in real time. And that's these niggas that you find. That's 80% of these YouTubers out here now. Let's point out the new problems. I'm going to go on Twitter and I'm going to see what's trending so I could lambast on that. I'm going to make that my platform. You niggas is weird to me. Where's the solutions at? Why we not hacking? How dare anybody, if I ever hear anybody say that we can't win and it's too late and all of this bird ass shit, I'm gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do something to you. That's an agent. You understand? That's somebody that's getting paid under the table. You're gonna have to run me to fade. That's a fact. You're gonna have to run me to fade. You know what I'm saying? Cause you out here telling the people, you putting them back to sleep. You putting them back to sleep. You're not empowering. You're not cutting the cords. You're not cutting the tethered cords. You're not giving the people the heart. You're not jump starting their heart. You're not giving them the ammo that they need to bust back. You're just giving them Wikipedia facts. Shit that we all looked up before on Wikipedia. Like, what are you talking about? These niggas is not trying to restore the power. They are not trying to restore the power. I promise you. They got you calling white people supreme. They got you niggas always telling me or inboxing me some negative shit. I don't care about what's going on around the world negatively. Nigga, this shit happens every day. I'm not focusing on that. Because if anybody agrees that we live in a holographic universe, whatever the fuck you pay your attention to is what you give power to. Since when the fuck did that shit change? Like, I thought that's what we was understanding. Whatever you give power to, you give power to. Whatever you pay attention to, nigga, there's where the power goes. And all these niggas do is talk about white people all day. And what they're doing to us. And how they are supreme and all of this. What? Nigga, what? And then take your lunch money. Here, give me a few coins. Take me your lunch money. They not empowering you. They not coming up with no solutions. We supposed to be putting bread on the heads of niggas that we want to see in all red. Do you understand the Swahili that I'm talking to you? Because this is YouTube. We're being monitored. So I'm talking to you in Swahili. They should be putting bread on the head of niggas that we want dead. That's the only conversation that somebody should be having. You smell me? That's the only crowdfunding that I'm doing. What else is there to talk about? Nigga, identify the op, give me the IPN, and get busy. Like, I don't want to talk about all of this victimhood shit. It's not sexy, bro. It don't make, we looking so corny on Twitter. We looking so corny on social media. We looking so corny on YouTube. So fucking scared. So weak. So inferior. Niggas ain't living out their Jubilee year. They not living out their Jubilee year in jubilation. I don't see it. Niggas is just waiting for the next black woman to get smacked, or the next child to get stomped out, or the next police to Swiss cheese a nigga. But you giving it all of your attention. You niggas ain't even they not even talking about it with bravado. They just pointing out all of the infractions against the people. And I'm here to say That's some bird ass shit. There's no power in that. Not to say to ignore it, but you niggas better bring a solution to the table. If you decided to pick up the mantle to tell the people all of the negative news, well shit, you need to tell some positive news too. Because there's some positive things taking place, nigga. You talking about? It's a black Miss America, you know? It's some positive things going on. Little Nas X is living his best life. It's some positive things. Kofi got the belt, my niggas. Like, it's just some positive things going on. There's 4-year-olds going to college who are homeschooled. It's 9-year-olds that are graduating Yale and shit. Black little, like, what about that part? Where do they come from? Who are their parents? You know what I'm talking about? While we focusing on the victimhood, those children, those smart children that we got, Google is taking them. Facebook is taking them. Instagram is taking them. Twitter is it's called a brain drain. They're raping the hood of all of the talent. They're sucking out all of the talent. They're sucking out all of our geniuses. They're sucking out everybody from us. And they're leaving us with these bottom of the barrel ass niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Who don't want to put in no work. Who wouldn't bust a fucking grape in a fruit fight. Farrakhan is not being silenced. Cut it out. You can't silence Farrakhan. You can't silence Farrakhan. He has content. How can you silence Farrakhan? He has content. If you got to go back to where we came from VHS and DVDs. That's where we came from. Where the fuck did you come from? We came from audio cassette tapes. We would drive. Blue Pill is probably on the line right now. We would be in my brother, my cousin Harbottoms, Will.I.am. We would be in his Q45 on a mission. We call it a meow. That's where we go to get money. We call it the meow. We would be in a Q45 listening to Farrakhan cassettes on 10, going out there to get our own reparations. A real nigga celebration. We got our own fucking reparations in the 90s. Nigga. We was listening to Farrakhan cassettes, little niggas. And if that's what we got to do, then that's what we got to do. Because if you claim to be about this life and you niggas is on a mission, a lot of y'all came into this shit with the bed made, the motherfucking the breakfast was already, you got breakfast in bed. All you had to do was pick up your fucking phone and turn it on, nigga, and class was in session. We didn't have that luxury. We didn't have that luxury. Nigga, we had a library card. And we had to figure out how to put them goddamn books in a bag and the alarm didn't go off coming up out the library with about 20 fucking books. That's what we had to do. We had the Dewey Decimal System. That's what we had. We had tape recorders. What is you talking about? Niggas had, look, we had pads, writing pads. You thought it was a rhyme book. It's all notes. I'm talking about pads on pads on pads on pads. I'm talking about going to sleep, drooling on books and whatnot. Mad books opened up all on the floor. We had Encyclopedia Britannica. Fuck is you talking? We couldn't even fathom watching a scholar on TV. So if we gotta go back to that, who cares? Who cares? Remember, the solution in that means more black bookstores will open up. We will get back to reading. We will get back to researching. We could open up workspaces or study spaces and study halls and whatnot all around America where brothers and sisters could come in every day, pay maybe $10, and you could read and you could write and you could learn all day. And you could get fed some sea moss and some green plant-based diets and whatnot. You put you on we'll have a SABI approved diet, and we'll have study halls and goddamn lecture halls, and we'll be able to have bookstores back online. They cannot stop consciousness. Do not, I mean do not, give that goddamn Peckerwood, who's low-key scared to death of you, any more power. Going back to what I was saying before, if you ever been in a situation where you was given more power than you thought that you deserve, you're gonna play it out. You come in a room and everybody start getting all squirmy and shit like, yo, he's a killer. You never killed nothing in your life. You like, yeah, nigga, I'm a killer. They like, oh. You like, yeah. You're gonna play to that because niggas is showing you their skirt. They're lifting up their skirt and showing you that they wearing thongs. So you like, oh, these niggas are sweet. That's the white man right now. He wasn't even thinking about running down on niggas. And the minute he get online, he just start hearing all of you niggas giving him all of this credit. Oh, white supremacy. Oh, the white man this, the white man that, the European this, the cracker this. They like, oh shit, these niggas is low-key scared of us when we were scared of them. Let's gentrify their hoods. Let's knock down their women. Let's walk in their neighborhoods like, you know what I mean? Let's play up to the shit that they're on because they're being subservient and we didn't even ask them to be. These niggas is growing wings. Chicken little ass niggas. These niggas is turning into birds around us. Let's treat them like a bird. Oh shit, look at they women twerking around us, acting bird-like. Oh, let's feed them some seeds. That's what they do right now. You know it. You know it. You know it. Because everybody's like, oh, when do white people get all of this heart? When you niggas lost your heart, that's when they got one. Because all of the shit that they walking around with is a result of what you niggas have given them. You have forfeited your power. You have forfeited your bravado. You forfeited your masculinity. You forfeited all of that to these Europeans. You gave them niggas your heart. Real talk. Real talk. Niggas wasn't talking like this when Khaled was alive. Fuck you. They was not talking like this when Malcolm was alive. They was not talking like this in Farrakhan's earlier days in his reign. Niggas was not giving white people no credit. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. They was not massaging the balls of white men on social media. When the master teachers was teaching, they wasn't doing that. They wasn't doing that. Nobody was giving them the credit like that. Bobby Hemmett was bodying them. Phil Valentine was bodying them. They wasn't giving them, they wasn't talking, when they mentioned their name, you heard trembling in their voice. These moist niggas these days, it's a lot of trembling in their voice. Niggas got treble. They treble is on 8. So, and I'm talking about a lot of the woke people. Y'all got woke by being scared of white people because a lot of niggas got woke based off of the police killings and whatnot. Y'all entered into consciousness scared of white people, fearful, mad scared. And it reflected because you were angry, but you didn't do nothing. So if you angry and you don't hurt nobody, if you angry and you never harmed a motherfucker, if you angry and you ain't put hands on nobody but only yourself, then nigga, you scared. You're scared. You're living in fear. You've been smothered with fear. And the chickens that niggas been eating, they said that the turkeys are homosexual. So a lot of people are what they eat. So people came into this shit scared to death. Oh, the Illuminati. That's why I don't even engage a lot of that shit on social media, because there's some people that just woke up like a week ago. So they on Instagram raging. Oh, the government this, Illuminati this. Red Pill, he's throwing up Mason signs because he made a pyramid with his hands. What the fuck is a Mason sign? What are you talking about? Oh, look at Red Pill. They're traveling around the world. The Illuminati cut the check. No, you bird ass nigga. I cut my own check. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They're gonna kill me if I say Sabi's name. Oh my goodness. Oh, they're coming after everybody that's trying to eat bananas. No, you banana ass nigga. You just scared. Just say it. You just coming up with excuses. Nobody is worrying about you. But you keep drawing all of that to you. So guess what? They're gonna kill one of you niggas because you put it out there. They're gonna push one of you niggas' wig back because you said that they could do it. They didn't even know that they could do it. You invited them in. That's what we're dealing with right now. That's what we're dealing with right now. That our people are not giving enough credit to themselves, to their ancestors, to the fact that we've been holding the line. You don't think we've been holding the line? Our people been holding the line. They didn't overtake us. They didn't run us down. They didn't wash us up. Nigga, crack cocaine washed us up. Crack cocaine washed us up. Okay? Anal sex washed you niggas up. Okay? The poppy seed and the heroin, that washed you up. Okay? The ecstasy pill washed you up. All right? Oh, who makes it? It don't matter who make it, nigga. Hansel and Gretel cooked it. It don't matter who made it. Nobody put that glass dick in your mouth. Nobody put that needle in your arm. Nobody put them pills in your fucking drink. You did it to yourself. Forget who makes it, nigga. Who takes it? Yeah. You want to talk about who makes it? The white man make. Who? They don't make guns. No, nigga. But you shot that gun. You bird ass nigga. Stop talking about who makes it. They make a lot of things in this world. Don't mean that you should be picking it up. You picked it up. You fell into their traps. You got influenced by the devil. He told you what his job was. His job was to influence you. His job was to influence you. It was to trap you. It was to trick you. And niggas got tricked. So how we gonna get out of this motherfucking thing? How we gonna get out of this thing? Going back to the example that the Nation of Islam has shown us. You gotta discipline yourself. You gotta master your lower self. You have to discipline yourself. You have to learn some form of organization because right now, Black America collectively is unorganized and you're at war with no organization. The White Walkers is walking all over you. The Night King is out here running plays, catching stains all over the place. And they got a whole bunch of niggas, dead niggas, zombies, working for them. The Walking Dead is out here killing niggas, eating brains, working for niggas. In real time. You don't see it? You don't see the White Walkers at work? You don't see the zombies in our hood? You don't see the cancer in our hood that look like us, but these niggas is dead and they working against the living? That's what I see. That's what I see. Yeah, cowards who die every day. Thank you, Iman, Rich the Swag Lord. That's a cold name. Them cowards die every day. Them cowards die every day. And they the Walking Dead until they brought back to life. That's a fact. Them niggas is dead. They the Walking Dead. They White Walkers. And they are enemies to what we about, to our frequency, until we get them right. So our obligation is to wake them up. Our obligation is to turn them from being dead to living, because there was an organization by the name of the Nation of Islam. And the Fruit of Islam, one of the military arm, a lot of them, right? A lot of them were quote unquote walking dead. A lot of them were quote unquote, you know, zombies, killers, shooters, dope pushers and dope users, pimps and prostitutes. Okay? There's another group that goes by the name of the Nation of Gods and Earth, And the nation of gods and earth are some of the progenitors and some of the foundation to the hip hop golden era, or the foundation of hip hop, right? Not only that, but these are street organizations. These brothers and sisters were running in the hood, in the trenches, in the ghetto, and they were waking up the killers, the dope dealers, the pushers, and some of them who got raised up and given righteous names. They themselves were known as the Walking Dead in that time. They themselves were the killers, the $100 billers, the quote-unquote pimps, right? But what we realized is that to be completely full in this duality, this world is called a dual world, right? This dual-natured world that we live in, where duality is the order of the day, where the quote-unquote feminine, we have feminine principles and masculine principles, we have negative and positive, right? We realize in hindsight that the perfect man was the balanced man, meaning the individual who was able to walk on both sides. And now he finds himself or herself in the middle with perfect balance. So you are not easily enticed by the law or the allure of the underworld, because you already tasted that. You already drank from that well. So you're not easily enticed to go over to the dark side, because you came into the light from walking through the dark side. So you're like, why would I go back? But then you got individuals who try to pop out and just appear like they all light beings. Oh, I reincarnated from a rainbow. I'm sitting here to save you. And then you be like, nigga, what's your track record? Let me see your rap sheet. Right? I don't have one. I've never been in trouble. I've been meditating since I was 3. You like, well, goddamn it. There might be something that could entice you. Because if you get into power, if you taste any kind of power, you have not exercised your demons. You have not fulfilled your desires. Nigga, you wasn't on the dark side. Okay? So here it is. You all righteous and whatnot. You Luke Skywalker. You floating on clouds and shit. You know what I'm talking about? But you don't have any blemishes. Nigga, you're too perfect. You know what I'm talking about? You're not balanced enough. So you're going to be easily enticed the minute you get some grade A box. You know what I'm talking about? You're going to lose your mind. The minute you get people calling you all of these likes and everybody noticing you and all of this other stuff, because power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So you got to have some kind of balance, because the power, you know what, if you're a teacher, you're in the power game. You know what I'm talking about? If you on the front lines, nigga, you're in the power game. What other game do you think this is? This is the power game, nigga. We not talking about Ghost and Tommy. This is the power game. So if you tap into the power and you're not balanced and you haven't dealt with your demons and you haven't met your shadow self and you don't know what it is to be fucking with these underworld individuals, nigga, it's gonna rock your world. It's gonna rock your world. You're gonna get your shit shook. And you could be more manipulated than an individual who has not been on that side. Case in point, why so many people who take up this task to put their life on the line, right, for the people, have already put their life on the line for the people. Maybe it was the wrong people, but these people have been flirting with death since the motherfucking beginning of time. Right? They've been flirting with death. They was out there selling motherfucking red tops. They was out there kicking in doors. They was out there twerking, you know what I mean? Kicking in whores, you know what I mean? They was out sliding down poles. They was out there masking up and whatnot. Whatever they were doing in their quote-unquote dark ages, they were risking it all. So to read some books and to cut your hair off and your mustache and to throw on a bow tie and some hard bottoms and a sharp ass suit in the summertime, it's not necessarily a far fetch, because you know that you're putting your life in danger. You know that you're putting it all on the line. You know that you're going to be cut off by family members and people who quote unquote say that they love you. You know that you're going to be ostracized from your community, but that's not a far fetch from where the fuck you was at when you was in the underworld. That's why underworld people kind of gravitate towards these conscious teachers and these conscious movements and these organizations the way that they do, because it's almost a completion. It's a cycle. It's called To Pimp a Butterfly. Kendrick Lamar tried to explain it to you that your caterpillar phase, when you're crawling on your belly, eating dirt, you know what I mean, eating dust, you know, chewing on leaves and whatnot, you're a caterpillar. You don't got no wings. You don't got no wings. You can't fly, my nigga. You just crawling on your belly like a snake. Then you go into a cocoon, a chrysalis. You go into a very dark time. So many people that I know got clapped up. So many people that I know got put into a situation where 10 years, 20 years, their freedom was on the line. They had to fight for their freedom. They got clapped up. They got put into a cell. Some people I even know got put into comas and whatnot. They got put into a chrysalis. They got put into that darkness, that triple darkness that the caterpillar goes into in its cocoon phase before it becomes the butterfly. And then what happens? You get this reawakening. You get this reanimation. You get this rebirth. You grow your wings and then you fly, and now you're colorful. Now the world sees you for your color. They see you for your talents. They see you for your gifts. They see you for your beauties. You're recognized. People calling you Lord, God, King, beloved, and all of these other accolades and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? You got other beautiful butterflies that want to fly with you. You was used to crawl around with caterpillars that were just one color. Now you got colorful butterflies. They want to fly with the God. You know what I'm talking about? They want to go on a long trip with you. Transformation. That's the butterfly phase that we all go through. You understand? And that's what the consciousness will bring you to. It's a phase. It's a chapter. It's a growth process. And the beautiful thing about it is now a lot of younger people are being introduced to consciousness at like 18, 19, and 20. So here it is. You don't even have to live out the long stretch of messing up in life, fucking up. Like I said, we did the heavy lifting so you don't have to do it. What did Jay-Z tell niggas? I never told you to sell crack. You know what I'm saying? Hove did that. And the reason he did that so you don't got to do that. So we did all of this heavy lifting. Some of us got kicked out of our houses by saying that, yo, we don't rock with white Jesus on the wall. You know, some of us got ostracized because we didn't want to eat at the barbecue. You know what I mean? We turned down the hamburger and the turkey burger and the hot dogs. They called us weird, screamed on us. Yo, get out the barbecue. You can't chill. You can't sit with us. We're carnivores. All right, that's cool. I'm going to go on the front lawn and eat some grass. You know? All of these things, some of us got walked out on in our relationships because, you know, we didn't want to do Taco Tuesdays anymore. Shit like that. We did the heavy lifting so you don't have to. We rewrote some of the codes so you don't have to. We shook the matrix so you could live comfortably in Zion. That's what we talking about. That's why, I mean, like I said, I come from a different time and era. I saw the fear in white people's eyes when we were in our proper Pisania, when niggas was on a dinosaur gorilla shit, back in like when Mike Tyson was in the street getting busy. I'm talking late 80s, early 90s. You understand what I'm talking about? Go ask A.A. Rashid. We used to go wilding together. I know who they are at their core. At their core, because you know a man and a woman when they, you know them at their core in their most vulnerable states. So it would be remissive of me to forfeit what I know and get on the social media and say that we can't win or it's over for us or these people are powerful. Nigga, what? Nigga, what? No, they not powerful. You niggas is just weak. That's the only thing. You niggas decided you wanted to be on peacetime. You laid down and was like, don't kill me. That's what niggas did. Remember, hands up, don't shoot. Niggas having die-ins and the knee and all of that was giving up the fight. All of that was the white flag. All of that was basically no mas, my nigga. All of that was psh, psh, no mas, psh, no mas, psh, psh, no mas, no mas. Don't hit me. That's what that was. The die-ins, niggas holding up signs and my necks. Don't shoot me. The t-shirts, all bird ass shit, all fuckboy shit, all weak shit. You know what I mean? All of that was basically giving up the fight. That's all white flag. Niggas around the world lost respect for us. The 80 OSs in America, they threw niggas away after that. There's no tough guys in America anymore. The toughest nigga is Donald Trump. It's no tough. Black America, these niggas ain't tough. They not about what they rap about. They not about what they rap about. They never put in no work. Zimmerman is still alive. Niggas is fugazi. What happened to Harlem? Bill Clinton. Charlie Rangel. Charlie Rangel was the politician 40 years after Randolph. He sold out Harlem. When Bill Clinton ran out of the White House and went to Harlem, they started increasing the rents in Harlem. Harlem, whatever group of white people decided that they're going to gentrify the planet, they started in Harlem because Harlem is the throne of black cultures, the black Mecca. So when Bill Clinton came into Harlem, that's when gentrification started out. That's when they started kicking that shit. That's when it went into full swing. And Charlie Rangel, who is a super duper sellout, he is a coon of all coons. He got in bed with Bill Clinton and then with Hillary Clinton because she became the quote unquote senator of New York State, and they sold out Harlem with Calvin Butts on a platter. And then went all of the black world after that. So if you want to ask what happened to Harlem, nigga, the black church, the black politicians, and that nigga who you said was the first black president, Bill Clinton. So pull up on him. That's what happened to Harlem. And every day they taking piece of it, piece of it, piece of it, piece of it, piece of it. Joe Biden sold us out. Who the fuck? Joe Biden. Who is Joe Biden? How could a white man sell you out? Who are you? Talk about Joe Biden sold us out. Joe Biden? Joe Biden not even black. So how could he sell you out? Somebody said Becky's are here to serve the gods. What gods? And what Becky's? What are you talking about? That's your reparations? That's your reparations? Well, it was Sharpton. It was Rangel. It was Charlie Rangel, Al Sharpton, Calvin Butts, and a whole bunch of other chicken-eating, shuffling-ass Negroes sold out Harlem to Europe. That is a fact. That's not my opinion. That's not how I feel. That is a super-duper fact. Come to Harlem, and I'll show you. Set us up to be incarcerated like Bill Clinton. You think so? Or niggas selling crack set themselves up to be incarcerated. Think about it. You shouldn't have been selling crack, nigga. Like, that's one of the worst drugs ever to hit our community. It was destroying our community. Do you think niggas got karma for getting 80 years for selling crack rock? Is that karma or is that Bill Clinton? Is that karma or is that Joe Biden? You turn niggas' moms into zombies. You turn niggas' dads into zombies. I'm talking about straight zombies. Like, they looking dead in the face. Niggas selling crack to pregnant women? Is that karma or is that Bill Clinton? Like, fuck out of here with that. That's karma. And if anybody ever sold crack and sold was responsible for destroying your community, you diminished your community. You was a pawn in the quote unquote white man's game. You was a pawn. You're nothing but a pawn, and you got thrown away into a jail cell when they was finished with you for devaluing your community. And now you can't even come home and afford rent. You can't even afford to live in a fucking washing room in your building. You nigga, you can't even afford to live on the roof of the same building that you killed somebody to represent the fucking sign on the block that you niggas don't own nothing. It's a racket. The way that the European plays his game, he says, yo, I'm in a pig stand. I'm a pig. If you niggas is in the mud with me, I got you. So yeah, the prison complex industry is a racket. The bondsman, the attorney, the motherfucking lawyers, the policemen, but you gotta be in the mud with them. It's but so many niggas that's not guilty. Yeah, we got people that wasn't guilty that they pulled into the mud. But they had about 100 pigs in there already. You niggas got in the mud with them. So what you gonna get? You gonna get sticks up your ass. They gonna put your head on a pike. They will cut your head off and put it on a pike. Chemical warfare is real warfare. Chemical warfare is a weapon. So if you took a weapon and if they put crack in your hood, that is chemical warfare. That's a bomb. That's weapons of mass destruction, right? It's a weapon of mass destruction. If they put that in your hood and you picked it up and you sold it, nigga, you was down with that quote unquote operation. You are part of the black ops. So we should shoot you in the head. You should be shot in the head because there's nothing more wicked than somebody who looks like you, who's a treasonous traitor of your own people. You was a treasonous traitor to the Black Power movement. You was a treasonous traitor to the Black Power movement of the 60s. You was a treasonous traitor to MLK. You was a treasonous traitor to Malcolm X. You was a treasonous traitor to the NOI, FOI, NGE, MSTA, all of these groups. You, nigga, who put that rock and cooked that shit. You was the traitor. You was down with that op. You down with Oliver North more than you down with Oliver South. Everybody that was suffering and eating mayonnaise sandwiches didn't sell crack. You could sell weed. Niggas was robbing drug dealers. That was more honorable to me than niggas selling drugs. We not going back. We not doing all of that. We keeping it a buck. And like I said, you niggas need to atone. It's not enough black men who was out here destroying shit in the name of dead presidents. It's not enough atonement taking place. At least Jay-Z is trying to atone. At least he's out there publicly trying to atone. And for the brothers and sisters who are in consciousness, changing their diets, growing their locks, using the shea butter, you feel me? I get it. You're trying to atone too. You're trying to make things right. I applaud you. I see brothers and sisters rekindling relationship with the children who they were not able to grow up with because they were completely mad and gone in their head. Nigga, I was gone. When I was younger, I was gone. I didn't sell drugs. I was gone though. I was gone. I was gone. I was in a whole nother mind state. Dr. Sabi tried to save me. My mama tried to save us. There's a whole bunch of people that tried to intervene on our behalf. And it worked eventually. But we were very resistant to it for many, many years. We put up a big fight. You niggas is not going to take us away from the street. Fuck you. You really think you're gonna do that? You think you're strong enough? We were stuck to the streets. We were stuck. Nigga, that sea moss wasn't taking me out the streets. Like, I was wilding. So I'm not gonna sit here and judge nobody. I understand where we came from. I understand the stakes the stakes was high. I understand that hip hop was driving us bonkers. We was coming up in the tunnel era, the DJ Clue mixtape era. Nigga, Biggie was telling us go get that Versace. Niggas went and got it. And we didn't pay for it. We was wilding. Then when we got introduced to guns, the way that shit felt, the way it sounded when it went off, how the power did a blicky. I had the remember the high point, the 380 high point. The shit was like 20 pounds. You know what I'm talking about? And the bullets was like the size of a fucking smartphone. Like, it had me going. It just had me going bonkers. I was young. I fell in love with that. I love the streets. You understand? I love it to this day. Because what I'm doing for the streets and the way that I'm received from the streets, it intensifies the love. Because I see that there's a lot of people that are on the right frequency, regardless of how they look, regardless of how they dressed up, regardless of the tattoos on their face or the gold in their teeth or the motherfucking cornrows in their hair. It don't matter. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? They focus. They getting their mind right. They not crazy. I don't see the craziness or the mental health issues in their eyes. You understand? They're trying to get it together. They're attempting to atone and to, but the overall conversation in our community is not about healing or atonement. So where do you think that they're going to get that from? They're not going to get it unless we give it to them. They don't know about that. They just think that, you know what I mean? They supposed to identify with being Egyptian or some shit. Or they want to be, Hebrew Israelites. Or they want to pray to another God, another man. But the real work is about what the fuck are you doing for yourself? What are you doing on your eternal work? How are you going to fix your internal self? How are you going to, quote unquote, align those chakras? How? That's that, because here it is. Oh, you hopped out of the streets. Now you wearing the Ankh and whatnot. You all in the mirror flexing. Yo, I'm King Tut. Wait till these hoes get a load of me. But when you look deeper in the mirror, the nigga who you shot in the face, or the woman who you had to tie up when you was trying to get that motherfucking work out the safe, or that baby that you gun butted, or that woman who you sold crack to, or the women who you took advantage of, they're staring back at you in the mirror. And all that Egyptian shit ain't doing nothing for you. And all of that Hebrew Israelite, you wearing the long jalabine and whatnot with the Timbs. You know how they do it in Philly. You got the bow tie on, wild tight. You know what I mean? Your waves are spinning. You about to tear that bean pie, that navy bean pie up. But you staring in the mirror and the people who you've done dirty, you understand? Maybe the body's just tethered to you, because when you kill somebody, that spirit is tethered to you forever. It's attached to you forever. So your karma's staring right back at you in the mirror, because you didn't deal with the internal self. You didn't deal with clearing. You was in a nation, but you didn't get into the clearing aspect. You was in the Hebrew Israelites, and you just want to recite Corinthians, but you niggas didn't apply Corinthians to your personal shit. You didn't atone, my nigga. You didn't take a fucking bath. So here it is. You all in this conscious shit, but you niggas is like pigs with lipstick on. You never took a shower. You didn't wash all of that sin. You didn't wash all of that negativity. You didn't wash all of that death. You niggas smell like death. You smell like death. You smell like an old dead cow. You know what I'm saying? You didn't change your diet. You didn't change the shit that you was watching. You didn't change none of that. You just put on some clothes without taking a shower. And you know how that looks. It look good, but you niggas stink. So we don't stress atonement in the woke community. We don't stress atonement in the victimhood community. We don't stress atonement in all of these schools of thought and knowledge where these niggas is jockeying for followers. We don't stress that. So that's the key. You got to get that out the way first. Take a shower and then figure shit out. So you know how it came for me when I start tapping into that spiritual shit. And then I was being told, nigga, you need to take a shower and a bath because you coming up in this bitch stinking. You know what I'm saying? You need to wash. You need to atone. You need to come to grips with some of the shit that you done did in your lifetime before you get any kind of grace and favor to bestow upon you. When you face the spirit, you must be clean. That is a fact. And I'm not talking about I had to take a real shower physically. I had to take that. When I faced my spirits, they told me, nigga, you got to take your bath. Literally, like spiritual bath. A few of them. And I didn't sell crack to nobody's mother. So imagine what you niggas got to go through. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not shooting and I'm not judging. Going back to what I'm saying, I'm smudging. I ain't judging you niggas. I'm smudging you niggas. You understand? We need to hear these things sometimes. And only the strongest amongst us will not get emotional, and they'll take this information and do something conducive with it. This is not the comedy show, my niggas. I'm not trying to sit up here and make you laugh. I'm just giving you the truth in a way that you can receive it, because it's very important and it's very instrumental and it's very life-saving when you do such things. It's a lot of niggas walking around with lipstick on a pig. They have not done the eternal work. They have not cleaned themselves. They have not cleaned themselves or their community or the people who they destroyed and damaged up. They're not doing it. If you know that you was responsible for destroying at least 10 people's lives, then God damn it, when you get this conscious shit, nigga, you should have 10 disciples with you. It should be the 10 motherfuckers whose lives you helped destroy. And if that's not the case, you need to find their children or somebody who was around them who they affected, and you need to raise them up in your consciousness and help bring them into a better place and help, carry their motherfucking burdens. And that's it. And that's what this retrograde is about. That's what Saturn and Capricorn is about. That's what we're dealing with right now. There's some other retrograde. What is it? Pluto? It's Pluto in retro. We're going to deal with Pluto on Melanin Monday. We want to deal with Saturn on Saturn's Day. That new moon in Taurus, dealing with family and money and all of this. It's time to atone. It's time to clean up. It's time to put some shit away that's not working for us. Niggas running around scared of white people, that ain't working for us. Nobody's telling you to be in their face. You know what I mean? Just have some courage, have some faith in your own people. Have some faith in yourself. Don't be afraid of no man. You better talk shit like you're motherfucking Muhammad Ali incarnated. You better talk big boy shit. Beat on your chest at this point. The universe is going to favor you. The universe favors the bold. The universe favors the bold. Not passiveness. Not passive aggressiveness. Not that water cooler, sorry to bother you type shit where niggas just turn bilingual around white people. Excuse me? What did you say? Oh, my name is Philip Moreland. Yeah. Yeah, haha, you're so hilarious. Oh, you're funny, guys. Stop that, Craig. You too, Steve. Huh, you guys are tickling my fancy. Like all of that shit. What is that? That's, like I said, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Niggas switch up, start code switching the minute somebody Caucasian comes around. Like, really? You niggas is code switching? What would you do if I wasn't here and they turned the lights out? That's my question. That's how a lot of dudes wind up with broken wrists. Talk black to me. Talk black to me. Because we're talking about the mentality of the hunter and the hunted. So if I'm a European or Caucasian and you come around and you switch into a whole nother tone and frequency around me, then it don't take a rocket science. I'm a hunter. Remember, they're hunters. They are hunters at naturally, right? So naturally, I would say, oh, this nigga just kneeled. Oh, this nigga just forfeited his persona to make me feel comfortable because he went into sorry to bother you. I'm not just a client, I'm also the president, okay? I'm not just a client, I'm also the president. Yeah, I watched that shit. So, sorry to bother you. The premise of that is he uses his white voice. This guy's working at a telemarketing firm, and he uses his white voice to get ahead. So when he's on the phone, at first he was like, yeah, you know, I'm just calling, click, people hanging up on him. Then he learned the secret. Hello, excuse me. Can I talk to you for a minute, please? Yeah. He used his sorry to bother you voice, and that shit started working for him. So they're basically like, yo, act white around white people to make them feel comfortable, and you could get ahead in life. I'm saying that if you niggas continue to do that around white people, all they're gonna do is keep sticking fingers up your butt, okay? Because that shit right there, that's the first sign of you losing your balls. That's the first sign of you demasculated. That's the first sign of you being subservient and submitting. You're submitting in the presence. You're submitting in the presence of a person who didn't even ask you to submit. You're submitting in the presence of a weak, inferior specimen who low-key, his heart is going like this around you. If he calls me a nigga, I'm going to lose it. My goodness, that's what the white man is saying. His shit beating mad fast, and here you come. Hey, Bob, what's going on, guys? They're like, this nigga's bilingual. He's trying to play with our balls. Hey, you guys want to play golf or something? Oh, shit. We were going to talk like Tyrone, but Tyrone came around talking like us. This is interesting. Let's play with this nigga. That's the shit that's going on. Code switching. You know what I mean? Code switching. Weak shit. Corny. Be yourself, man. Be yourself. Don't they like rappers? Like, ain't they into the entertainment aspect of Negroville? Like, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna fire you anyway. They're gonna promote the new white guy who came in any goddamn way. That's all of that sucking up did not help you niggas climb the ladder of corporate America. Now, did it? Okay. So it is what it is. This has been an interesting session with the family, you know, but you know, it's coming to an end. You know what I mean? It's definitely gonna come. It's coming to an end. We had a great time tonight. It was an interesting build. I look forward to building with y'all on Monday, Melanin Monday. I believe it's gonna be at 11:11 p.m. Eastern time. on the same channel. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. You know what I mean? If you have not hit up that Cash App, please go ahead and hit up that Cash App. Money sign Phil Moreland, Moreland Phil. And yes, that is a sorry to bother you name. Talk black to me. Okay? You don't want me to go into Phil Moreland mode. Because I will, yeah. You wouldn't even know over the phone that it's me. I would go full fucking sorry to bother you. And I will sound like Phil Moreland from Minneapolis. Okay? All right. But yeah, money sign Phil Moreland, Kings County, right? Kings County. And I don't know if there's such a thing as a black voice. This is my voice. It's just talk regular. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? It's just a regular voice. It's just a regular voice. Like, it ain't no extra bravado. I'm not like, you know what I'm saying, son? You know what I mean? And all of this stupid shit. I'm not trying to sound like I'm from New York. Just talking, regular talk. Like, it doesn't have to be all that extra stuff. So I'm not trying to be too black, and I ain't trying to be too white. Just stay in the middle. Like I said, perfect balance. Learn the balance. Learn that middle path. Ma'at. Learn that ma'at. Learn how to balance the two. So, with that being said, love and light to the family. I got love for everybody. I appreciate all of y'all. Take advantage of this retrograde. This is all about us. This is all about putting us back into our proper persona. We are in the Jubilee year. You know what I mean? This is the end game. This is Ascension Protocol. The gates are open. The ancestors are smiling down on us. The universe is conspiring for our success. Fuck a conspiracy theory. The only conspiracy is the fact that the universe is conspiring for our success. That's the only conspiracy that I subscribe to. Okay? That's the only conspiracy that I subscribe to, because conspiracy is a federal crime, and a bunch of niggas is in jail for that right now. So I don't subscribe to no conspiracy. The only conspiracy that I subscribe to is that the universe is conspiring for my success. That's it. And our success as well. Not all of us. Those on the frequency. Those on the frequency. And the frequency ain't about running around fear-mongering, victim consciousness, taking advantage of the people because white people are out here victimizing niggas. That ain't it. This is about empowerment. This is about enlightenment. This is about upliftment. This is about encouragement. This is about hustle and motherfucking motivation. The same thing that Nip told you. That's what this is about. This is about running this motherfucking marathon until, you know what I mean, until you cross that finish line. So Farrakhan, keep running the motherfucking marathon. This ain't it. They only gonna make you stronger. I hope he gets to see this video. And like I said, we'll elaborate even more on Monday about some of the steps that could be taken in the decentralized cryptocurrency blockchain world, where these brothers can empower themselves collectively with a cryptocurrency, with their own social media, with their own streaming service. And they're halfway there because they have NFW Studios, and they also have Black on Demand with Ben X, Brother Ben X, and they also have a few other things in the works and whatnot, because I'm not in the Nation of Islam, so I cannot speak about what they have bubbling under the surface. I'm only giving you commentary, and I'm also giving you advice based off of how I see things. That's it. And with that being said, love and light to the family.